Happy Dia de los Muertos. Ah, I can't even speak. Happy Dia de los Muertos to those that are watching. Thank you for coming in and watching with us and for joining us today. Give me 1 second as I get the video all set up and ready. Yep, everyone give me 1 second as I get the video set up. As you guys know, I do start when I get to 13, so please invite in as I am getting my video all set up. And trying to figure out where this new platform has shared my video out to, so I can get in there. Let's try this page here. That's what happens. So stick with me, guys. I am using a new platform, so bear with me here. All of my, let me look here. Is this it? I think we found it. Perfect. Hello, hello, so hello. With me, guys. I am using a new platform, so bear with me. All of my, all right, give me 1 second as I get all this together. All right, so far so good. So today's readings are $5, $10, $15, and $25. All the details are there at the bottom. All the pay links are in my feed as I am trying to get it all up and running. So bear with me here. All right, let's do that. And pin that one at the bottom. All right, so at the bottom, you guys will see all of my details of where you guys can pay and all that good stuff. All right, just being sure. So let me, hello, 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 everybody. Hello, Amber. Rosie Marie, I will go ahead and, so how do you get on my free list? You definitely have to send out stars and share out the video. But if you do one or the other, like preferably it would be stars would get you on my free list. Okay, I take about, today I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take a good 8 free readings today. Okay. So Rosie Marie is on my first free. I do have a paid reading going out to Fran. And let's see. So tonight's readings, as I said, all my paid links are going to be there pinned at the bottom. Today's readings are $5, $10, $15, and $25. Nikki Holden is the second person on my free list. Thank you, Nikki. All All right. So $5 gets you a 2 to 4 card pull. It's kind of like a general, whatever reader's choice kind of thing. $10 is for reading, $15 for reading. It could be a reading or a mediumship, okay? If you guys want a mediumship, they start at the $15 mark. It's $15 or $25, okay? And for $25, you're going to get it all. You're going to get the reading, mediumship, and a spiritual message from your spiritual team, okay? So that's kind of how we're going to start. Today, we're going to start off with Fran as number 1 on my list. Hold on, I do have to share this video out real quick. 1 second, because I have to remember that I'm not using the same profile. I'm using a different platform. 1 second. Hello, Christina. Hello, Fran. How are you? How is everyone? Hope everyone is well. Give me 1 second, just getting the video shared out. Most of all, I got to share it on my regular page because I don't think this profile did that. So let's go here. Let me tell you, sometimes with some of these profiles, like if you are not on it, like you will definitely get stuck with trying to figure out where to share it to and all the other details. Like it's a lot to share out a video sometimes. You guys hear my rant sometimes. You guys do. So anyways, come on. My computer's slowing down. Christina, give me 1 second, honey. And of course, my whole page just stopped. Okay, well, there's that one. Let's try that again. All right. Give me 1 second. So I need to be able to see it on Facebook. If I can't get into Facebook, then I can't see who's doing what with their stars and stuff like that. This does share out to my YouTube channel. So hopefully you guys will be able to go back and watch it on YouTube if you guys need to. So if you're not on my YouTube channel, please go like and subscribe my page on my page. All the details are there in my links for you guys to check me out at www.shamanicphoenixguidance.com. Oh, I do have to pay for my website. Got all about that. So much on my mind. So much on my mind. So how are you guys today? What's going on in y'all's life? All right, let's try this. Let's come here. Like literally my whole computer just stopped. I apologize, guys. Sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. Literally. That's what this is all about. You're saying, Eva, just slow down. And I'm with it at these points. Right, 1 second, guys. Lately, so when I went into meditation today, I always go into meditation before I start off with my readings. Always, 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 always. And this time when I went in, they were talking about where we. So when I went into meditation. When we think that there's nothing left for us to expose, especially in the hurts and the pains of some of our traumas and things like that, when you think that you've gotten through every little detail and you figured everything out, right? And you just can't figure out what is holding you back. You know, whether it's your depression or sadness, whatever this and that, whatever's going on. And sometimes what I was getting was sometimes when we think we release something, sometimes it's not whether or not we've released it, but whether or not the person that had done whatever it was to us has released it, right? take for example, so I was molested as a child by a few men, some within the family, and they have passed on, and also by my best friend's stepfather, as well as my uncle on my mother's side. And anyways, so I was like, now mind you, I've dealt with this, like literally have dealt with this time and time again. Okay. And so with that, I'm like, okay, well, I've already dealt with this, so I don't understand what's the problem. And so they're like, no, it's not about whether or not you completely dealt with it. It's whether or not that person that we have that has done that to you is also, in a sense, okay. But I'm like, well, why is that my problem? And it is our problem, because just as such, we also must forgive, whether or not they are here, passed on, whatever. And we can say, oh, no, I forgave and it's done. No, but truly, have you? Because if it keeps on coming back in your mindset and it keeps on bringing some type of hurt to your heart space, did you truly release that? Or is it just standing somewhere in the background waiting for you, right? So what that means is literally sitting in a meditative area, sitting with that person, whether or not they're here or there, okay? So this is like in a spiritual sense, sitting with them and saying, hey, look, I'm not going to keep on allowing you to take me down a depressive phase that I'm okay with. I'm okay with all this. So whether or not you need some to get over something, if you need to get over something, fine. I release you from this, and I truly am sorry that you're having to deal with this. But maybe in the next lifetime, maybe you can help yourself to get through whatever it is that that you're going through. Because ultimately, I'm not going to allow you to continuously hurt me or put me in a depressive phase because you need to go somewhere. No, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to allow you to take me there. Right. So ultimately, it's like you have to say, okay, I'm not going to take my mindset there, and I'm not going to allow others to take me there. Don't allow others to feed on your energy. Don't allow others to do you wrong in any way. Right. So they're just like, okay, sometimes our chakras get blocked. And when they get blocked, we have to say, okay, what is blocking us? What is stopping us? So for a lot of people, especially a lot of spiritual leaders, their throat chakra gets blocked a lot. And because so it's not always about speaking our truth or so a lot of the time the throat chakra gets blocked because we're not speaking our truth. We're not speaking on something that needs to be spoken on. It's like we're stopping ourselves from that growth process through the throat chakra. And so with that, you have to say, okay, well, what can I do to help to heal that? So, and it's not just about that. So what I was saying is that, sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. So sometimes we get blocked by that throat chakra because we need to teach somebody something. Or it's like a teaching. You're not doing like something that you have taught or have learned. You're not teaching. So sometimes we need to teach others something that we, for whatever reason, have went through. And so that's why I always speak about my stories to everybody, because you never know whether or not you might be going through something that somebody else, might need to help to hear how you got through it so then they could get through it. Right. So it's just like, okay, how can I help somebody else get through their situation that I might be going through, or so that's why I'm a big fan of always speaking your truth, always speaking your truth, always, because as I said, you never know when somebody else is going through similar situations and need to know how to handle them, literally. So how did I deal with, and I'm writing a book about it, how I dealt with in the spiritual form, the molestation part in a spirit. So how I got to deal with it was a form of writing. So I love to write. I love to write poetry. I love just to write in general. And so one of my biggest ways to help to get through the process was to write out my feelings. So I would title it with that person's whatever, and I would write out my feelings, my emotions, whatever was coming to me. Then I'd sign and date it. I'd fold it away from me as many times as I could until it wouldn't be able to fold anymore. Then I went ahead and I put it in like a little tin. You can put it in like a tin or a you put it in a burn bowl and you burn it until it's ash. And then what you do after it's ash, so I put a little bit of oil on it, so it'd be like sage or lemongrass or something like that. And then I would go ahead and burn it. Then I go ahead and put a little bit of white and black candle wax on top mixed with a few herbs for protection. Put that on top, and then I just let that seal, and then I just toss it up off my property. By doing that, it helped me to release so much. So the reason why I'm saying that, so that's one form. So obviously for me, they were saying, okay, there's obviously something here that you need to release. And so that's exactly what I did. I released. And after I did, I realized that a lot of my stress started going away, a lot of my issues, like, because I could get really stressed or really depressed because of it. And, you know, so I noticed that when I get there, that there's something that I need to handle. So by handling it in that form or way, I was able to handle business. So, you know, that's just one way to handle it. There's multiple other forms of being able to handle these, and that's for another day, another story. But we can always get there later. Sorry, still setting up the video. So that's just that. So we're going to go on, and we're going to go ahead and get to readings today. So all the stuff is at the bottom. Today's readings, very cheap, 5, 10, 15, 25. Okay, let me look here. Let me get this. Oh, didn't mean to. That's that there. My banners are up. Hold on one second, guys. I'm trying to get my banners to stop. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So anyways, so just come and chill with me. I'll be on here for a few hours doing some readings or until they're done. So share the video out, share the stars. If you feel like someone might need a reading, share it out with them. I have, let's see, 6 more spots of the free spots, and we have 18 spots for paid open. And I plan on being on here until Spirit tells me to stop tonight. So I'm on, hoping that it's on my regular page. I think it is. I think that's Christian too. All right, so let's get started. So we're going to start off with the collective read. You guys know me. I love to start off with the collective reads first. All right. Yes, Miss Crystal. We will get to everyone as much quickly as we can. Hello, hello, hello. So to get on the free list, let me just say that to get on the free list, you have to send out stars and you have to share out the video, okay? And, you know, the best thing is to pay it forward by doing a good deed for somebody else. All right, so we're going to start off with the collective read. So ultimately, that's kind of where they were taking us, was with the collective, was talking about that first. Guys, I got so many things I'm drinking. I got tea, coffee, juice. Finished up on the tea. All right. What y'all sipping on right now? It's 5 o'clock. Some of you guys are just getting home. Hey, Tim, thank you for your payment. Tim. All right, so I got Fran and Tim on my pay list. On my free list, I got Rosie and Nikki. And oh, here's the thing. If when I get to you guys are not here, okay? Especially on the free list, if you guys are not here, I will bypass you. I will mention your name 3 times. If you do not respond, I will bypass and go on to the next person, okay? And how I work is free paid, free paid, free paid. That's how I work, okay? Now, if my paids get backed up too far, I'll just do all my paids and then go back to my system of free paid, okay? All right. So anyways, as a collective, we started talking about the underlying situations that we thought that we got through, that obviously there's still something holding on. So if there's still something that we're holding on to, there's still stuff that we need to get through. So why do we allow these things to constantly take place in our lives when we know that we've already gotten through them? Well, a lot of the times is because sometimes, I always say that when the idle mind can literally become havoc to negative energy if you are not doing what you need to do. Sorry, I had to put my crystals in the light. So that means that maybe you're going through a depressive phase and you're just there's a lot of negative energy around you that needs to be, withdrawn, whatever. You need to deal with some of that stuff. Okay, don't constantly let it be there and constantly allow yourself to keep on going through the process of depression. Like, let's deal with it. So let's see. So the first card coming out, they're talking about past lives. As you know, cards in reverse are things that we really need to focus on. Past lives and being receptive to what's happening. Transformation, changing of our past lives. So right now I'm using a Zen tarot deck. And so as I'm working right now, I'm just doing the whole, I can't even think right now. I'm doing the collective read, and they're talking about past lives now. I just got done with a client, and this is kind of going back into that one. And I feel like we just need to tap on this a little bit. So what I mean by that is, so sometimes our past lives, sometimes we're here. Okay, so I believe, and I'm a firm believer in reincarnation. With that being said, with reincarnation, I believe that in which has happened in a past life can still be affecting you in this life. So with that, while you're here, you also need to be able to heal your past life stuff, releasing that stuff, so that you can truly be free in here. So being here isn't just about the Akashic record that we wrote for this life, but it's also about what we did in the past life that still might be drawn forth on things that are happening here in this life as we stand. So with that being in mind, and they're saying that people need to be receptive to their past lives so that they can change not just their past life, but change the situations from the past life that are happening and still playing effect in this life right here, right now. Whether or not you have, you had a past life in Atlantis or whatever, and you went down and you were drowning then, and now you're afraid of water in this life. Well, don't you think that we should try to maybe, take, just hypothetically speaking, maybe taking some swimming classes, going and sitting by the ocean, dealing with our fears. And that's the key there, is dealing with our fears and our traumas instead of allowing them to deal with us. That is really key here. So with that, so they're talking about, as we're transforming here, that we are being conditioned. We're being conditioned, paying attention, because the past life stuff is hindering this life, because literally the past life is in reverse. And then they're talking about conditioning. We need to see that things from our past life are still coming in and hurting us here. And we need to be receptive to those that might be, especially if you're in a past life relationship, like a relation. What I mean by that is, like, what I've learned is that soulmates and twin flames can come from past lives. Like, you could have a past life and a relationship with someone from a past life in this time frame. And sometimes those soulmates, those ones tend to last a lot longer than what they call, the twin flames. The twin flames, those ones, they are there to learn stuff from each other, but a lot of the times, like, they don't necessarily always last. So with that, of course, none actually last, but the ones that are soulmates, they have a higher chance of lasting. Anyways, what I'm sensing here and what they're telling me is that those relationships that we hold from a past life, go ahead, need to be released, especially if they're toxic, so that you don't constantly hold yourself in a loop of past life relationship drama, knowing when to cut those off as well. A deep etheric cord cut would do justice there, for sure. So not just that, but as you do that, in comes a higher consciousness card. As you're transforming, you're going to transform your consciousness into higher planes by releasing what? Bam, trauma, past life trauma. So it's not just here dealing with the trauma from our childhood or us in a younger stage, but it's also from the traumas from past lives and past life relationships. That's deep. That's deep. All right. Anyways, so that there was a collective read. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and get into these readings. So my first one is going out to Miss Fran. What is it that I need to see here? Crystal, I will go ahead. I do see that you sent stars. I will go ahead and put you on my list, Miss Crystal. And the free readings are literally very quick messages. Super quick. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read for Fran. Fran paid for a mediumship and a reading or a spiritual message. So what is it that I need to see for Fran? Miss Fran, are you here? All right, so Fran. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, Jocelyn. I will go ahead and put you on my list. Now, once I do the free reading, if you guys want to get in longer, you guys can always pay for a session. As I said, it's only $5, $10, $15, or $25 for the day. Nope, Miss Fran, I'm working on you right now. She said, did I miss me? What did my dad try to tell me? Have a house for me. Oh, talking about this, Fran. So let me tell you something real quick. So the other day I had a dream and there was this storm and you were in it. Now, Fran is a longtime client, just in case you guys, I don't have like random dreams of random people. That she is a longtime client of mine. Anyways, I had this dream. So this dream was that I was in a red truck and me and my husband were down visiting and there was this hurricane that came. And I was like, Fran, we need to go. And you wouldn't go. And I'm like, Fran, we need to go. We need to leave. And then the storm, like it was a hurricane and the water just kept on rising and rising and rising. And it's like the whole, you're just like, it's okay, just go, we're just going to go in the house. And when we go in the house, it's going to create this suction and it creates like, it turns into like, in a sense, it was like a boat in a sense. But the windows and the doors create the suction and water can't get in. So anyways, we go in the house but you said that the structure had to be in place. So as that was happening, the water I can see was clear, but it kept on rising. I could see all these thorns and all this stuff, all these branches just coming up past the windows. And it was a purple house. And there were others ones on the street. And so this is literally your consciousness is being overfilled as I'm reading into it. The consciousness is being overfilled. And anyways, the house itself ends up, because all the other houses were like, the pressure was coming this way, the water was coming this way, and then the whole house comes up and off of the foundation, and we end up floating downstream. And then I remember I couldn't find you. I couldn't find anybody. And I was in this place, didn't know where I was. And I know I just had to get through to 91st Street. I know your house was on 91st Street. I know that's not where your house is, but it's like there was a 91st Street. And I was like, okay, I know I need to get to Fran. She's on 91st Street. And I was like telling everybody, okay. And so the people that anyways, I ended up somehow with a duffel bag full of money. And it had holes in it, and people could see the holes and can see the money. And I'm like, damn, I need to get another duffel bag. And then, so I was like, okay, I'm going to pay someone to get me back over here. So I got a hold of these people, and they were going to take me to where I needed to be. However, they ended up trying to play the whole situation out for themselves. And then I ended up finding you at one point. And then even though I found you, you still ended up, you're like, okay, well, let's go ahead and go. And you went this way, and I knew we had to go straight. And so I tried to follow you, and you said, just keep on going straight. Like, and you were just you had to go stop over here, and you're going to come back. And you never came back. And I just remember saying to myself, I just need to get to 91st Street. But when we had finally met, I was like, I lost my car. I lost my husband. Like, I lost it all. And I have all this cash. And yet I can't find you, and I'm in this place that I have no idea about, and people are like misleading me. There's a lot there, okay? There's a lot there, okay? But there was a lot for me there, but I feel like this dream had a lot for you as well. So when I get messages for clients, a lot of the times they'll come in the form of a dream, or they'll come in a form like whether or not I'm just reading for that person. So with this, okay, I feel like this is literally showing us that and go ahead, spiritual team. So I'm activating your spiritual team. They're with us right now. So anyways, now. So as we look at this dream, Fran, okay, this is literally for you. And I'm talking about your higher consciousness. As you start to develop in your higher perspectives and spiritual belief systems and everything that you're going through, you're going to be taken off the path. And just as you're going to be taken off the beaten path, pay attention to those that are there for you and that are truly there to help to teach you. Because if you don't, you also are going to be misled, just as those that will try to always mislead a spiritual teacher or someone that already knows the situation. Regardless of the situation, the storm itself, okay, so I did see clear waters through this process, but they're showing me like broken branches. This is where like I felt like at that time, like a branch had broken. It was like my shoulder or something like that, like it was an arm. And so they're showing that if I go through this, that because I'm seeing like in the shaman world, this is like a tree that raises up, not just from the center world, but to the upper world and the lower world. And so as this tree is developed and growing, okay, as it's developing and growing, pay attention, knowing when to weed through like the breakages, like pruning the branches. And even if there's like going to be something that happens to break something off, to know the deception that is around, to pay attention to the energies and the deceiving energies is what I'm getting. So you have a lot that's been happening around you. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, and I know that some of the stuff that I've been seeing anyways. So it's just a lot of a lot. Hold on, let me. Manipulation, trickster energy, I feel them too. Hello, Penny. Yes, I've been encountering bullshit like I don't see it. Hello. Bullshit, right on. So yeah, so with this, okay, so this whole, as your growth happens, pay attention to the deceivers out there. And not just that, I don't know what the number 91 has to do. This could be, because I kept on, in the dream, I was like 91st Street, 91st Street. Like that's all I kept on coming out with. So it could be something having to do with the month of September, having something around September 1st. It could be 9 and 1 is 10, which brings it back to 1, which is all about creation. Beginning, independence, leadership, and strong will. That's definitely her. Completion, perfection, success, and spirituality. This has to do with the growth in your spiritual self. Been seeing an 888-919-33. So you're definitely at the beginning, like your spiritual team, they're definitely speaking to you. You know, the universe speaks in numbers as well. So with all that, you got lots of things happening around you, and you definitely need to be paying attention to the details here. You definitely need to pay attention to the details around you. Something is off. Something is off. What do I need to see? Well, if I can, the card can fly everywhere. So the sharing card popped out. Oh, my daughter's father texted me one day and said he was going to talk to me this next day. But he didn't. What did he or does he want to talk about? Girl. Okay. So there's a lot here. So let me pull cards. Let me look. Anything else that the spiritual side wants to speak on? I'm receptive. Your dad says I'm on to something. Your dad literally says I'm on to something. I need to sit with this for a minute here. What am I on to, sir? Show me. What am I on to? What are you speaking on? They're trying to take you off your path, Fran. Everything that's happening to you right now is trying to take you off your path of not being able to see correctly. And you know exactly what's happening. You need to definitely, they're showing me, you definitely need to sit with your spiritual team, strengthening your spiritual team, strengthening yourself through this process, knowing that you're not alone. You're going through great growth right now. You're going through great growth right now in the spiritual realms, that's for sure. As you're going through this great growth, know that it's like with knowledge comes pain, that kind of mindset, you know, and we definitely need to do some protective work is what I feel. I'd be, especially right now, because the veils are super thin. So the veils, starting at the beginning of October, they start to get really thin. And then going back into November, they start to get thicker again. So right now, they're still very, very thin. And as they are, is a perfect time. Right now is a perfect time to be sitting with your ancestors. Because, and as I see your ancestors, like they're showing me like shields, like they're shielding you up. And it's like being prepared for the big storm. Okay, you need some healing from, there's a lot of trauma still from you. So if we talked, okay, if you listen to what we first talked about at the beginning of this message, so we were talking about the stuff from our past that is still giving us and bringing us issues, Fran. So that whole Hurricane Katrina situation that happened for you, it is still drawing for you. It's still hurting you. There's still trauma there that needs to be dealt with, according to what I'm seeing. It needs to be dealt with like now, because it's stopping you from a full process. It's stopping you from the next levels. So you definitely need to get through and do some healing on that. We could do some, you know, whether or not it's Reiki, whether or not it's, you know, Qigong, but we definitely need to start to working on this right now, because at this point, this is just enough. This trauma from that situation of that storm, it's put you in a whole, it's like a spiritual, that spiritual trauma, it does something to you. That thought of anytime a storm comes in, it does something to, it makes you vulnerable. And you cannot have that vulnerability like this. This is not okay. I don't know how to heal Heal it and whole. I see it every day. Yeah, we need to work on this. This is not okay. This is not okay. All right, so let's go into the cards here. Let's see what the cards are saying. Sharing and harmony. Okay, so your food is literally, so your work is literally this woman bringing in the food. It has that harmonic energy, so the food is there. But the Page of Coins is coming in a reverse position. So this is actually a female type of an energy that is literally, it's like they're going to bring you some type of unfavorable news. There's something having to do with, I feel like this is your daughter. There's a daughter that's going to bring you some type of unfavorable news. And she's going to make you feel like if you don't do something, no one can do it. And this is where they're showing me like somebody needs to be put on their feet and say, hey, okay, it's time for you to leave the nest. It's time for you to handle your own business now. Because every time you bring me your shit, you constantly take me down with you. And I'm not going to keep on going downwards because of everything else that needs to be done. So it's just like, okay, enough is enough. Okay. So there's that. So now she tried it already today. Okay. So there's that. So now, and I keep on, so the color purple is all around you. So this is literally your consciousness coming in here. Let me look at, okay. Now the totality and the success card is coming in. Okay, so totality is coming in. So it's like you're getting ready to connect into that next spiritual realm. However, you're being stopped from getting there. And you're being stopped by what? The Hermit. The Hermit is coming in a reverse position. And so if the Hermit is coming in a reverse position, you're being stopped from your success because of, they're talking about failures of inactivity or from trying to help everybody else, that then by the time you have to help yourself, you don't have enough energy. So it's like you're having to deal with all your kids and stuff and everything else, when it's like people, it's like they too have also, you know, have been through their own stuff. Yes, I get, but at the same time, it's like everybody needs to heal from the Hurricane Katrina. Everybody needs to heal from your father's passing. Everybody needs to heal. And it's just like they're just pancaking their emotions and everything one on top of the other, and no one's really dealing with what truly they need to be dealing with. It's like, come on, let's just get it together. Let's all just go sit and let's all just do it together. Because at this point, this energy, whatever's happening, it needs to be dealt with. Hold on, guys. And sorry, my internet. Hold on, my internet. Okay. So if we do not help the children to help themselves through this process, then they're not going to learn to rely on their spiritual self. And there's going to be a constant, just go to mom, just go to mom and go to mom. And then they never end up healing the stuff that they truly need to. Going to get to the process of healing. When are they going to get to the process of healing and them growing into everything? So just as such as you're growing and you're working through everything, they too need to work and grow where they, you know, their spiritual self at the same time. So I feel like this is like a whole family healing. Okay. This is a whole process of healing. I think that this is something that we need to sit down and figure out a plan, tools that can help you through this process, because you're definitely not alone. That's for sure. But at the same time, it's just like it's stopping you from your business growth. And that's where we need to say, okay, pause for a second. When it's affecting our business growth, then we have a problem. And that's the situation here. When it stops your business growth, then we have a problem. It's not that easy. And no, I can think of I've healed, but I move through the city and it's no one has healed. This is a collective. Okay, so let's talk about that. So this can be, okay, this is the bigger picture here. Okay, so you remember when we're always talking about what it is that you need to do to help to heal the situation? It's like putting together a group healing session for anybody that wants to come out, and like getting together, like renting out a space, or whether or not you're doing it in your backyard at first, but putting together a group process of healing to where we can start to heal everybody. Of course, once you heal yourself first, okay, we get to healing you, working on your Reiki, working on everything in that way, then you can start to heal other people from this trauma. So the way that this is all working out, this is like, okay, well, we need to get you first and then we can get to everybody else. So Fran, the way that this is looking, that's the big picture here. You're put here in this situation to help those that are dealing with this trauma still. So that is the bigger picture. Now, in comes the sorrow and literally the compromise. Is like, don't compromise. You know, when people are going through their stuff, it's just like, you know how to help people, not to compromise. They're saying not to sit here and say, okay, well, I'll go ahead, like, especially when it comes to your business. Look, you have, when it comes to your business, when you open up a business, you're saying to yourself, I am doing this for me so that I can achieve X, Y, and Z in my life. And this, it will open up doors for this, this, and that. However, if we do not help others, that means help the city, help the community, help those that are around you. And you are with your food, you are, okay? But at the same time, this is also healing my children. There's a whole big picture here, Fran. And at this point, you need to take a step back and look at the big picture. That's the key here, okay? You have to take a look at the big picture. And the Four of Wands comes in. This is literally about peace and tranquility and union, not just here in my home, but also in the city. Look at that. And it's literally about the houses by the water. You see that? The houses by the water need healing. And you have the ability to do that. You have the ability. You're literally in contact with some of the strongest workers right now, and you have the ability to help. And that's the key here. You have the ability to help, and that's what we have to do. We literally have to heal your city and you from all this trauma. So the way I think that maybe we should put together some type of I don't know whether or not me, Skip, I have a couple other people that can come in that can also help. I have another couple of shamans out there that can come out and help, but to help to heal the city from this trauma. I think this could be something. So private message me later and let's talk about this further, because I think that this is opening up some paths that need to be gone through. And not just that, this is going to open up healing on many levels. Other cities that are going through this, like, this is going to be healing Mother Earth at its finest. I'm talking about healing NOLA, healing places where they've had, not just hurricanes, but I'm talking about healing Mother Earth on every level. And what I mean is, like, the places where there have been tragedy, uplifting that part of the area, healing that part of the area of the world. We need to start, because if you think about it, you guys, look at all these shootings and killings and all this stuff that's happening. Look at all the hurricanes and all the tornadoes. Look at all the stuff that's happened, right? And that happens on a daily basis. Like, that land, especially if it's a recurrence of stuff, like, that land becomes so toxic with that negative energy that if we don't help Mother Earth to sometimes uplift that and energize that ley line with positive energy in that area with positive energy. And what I keep on seeing is putting grids into the earth, and I keep on seeing grids and big time meditation with a bunch of people and just healing Mother Earth and letting her ascend into that upper energy. By doing that, we won't just heal Mother Earth, but we'll start to heal the people in that area. So this goes back into the reason why I'm creating this worldwide tribe, is to help people to grow. And this is where this is going to be some of the processes in which we're going to do, is to help to heal the land, on a spiritual base, so that we can ascend Mother Earth, so that we can ascend not just Mother Earth, but the people here, the humanity as a whole needs to be healed. Whether or not, as I said, whether or not it's from weather or actual situations that are happening from the the school shootings, from everything. This stuff needs to be healed. The land there needs to be healed, period. And I think that there should be other healers, and like I have something in my mind that I'm gonna put together, but it's about that time. It's about that time that we start to do this. Anyways, the last card here, Miss Fran, for you, they're talking about your guidance card is in a reverse position. The number 6 of Cups is coming in, and the 7 of Swords is coming in. This is new plans that are coming in. This is new information that is coming in. So something new is getting ready to come in. Your wishes are about to start to all come in. But in order for us to do that, we have to come through this trauma first. If we could do that, because it talks about the past influences your memories. So if the past memories are influencing you today and it's still hurting you today, we need to handle business today. So private message me. Let's get some things moving, because at this point, like, I see, you know, starting something by next springtime. We could get something together where we're going into different cities and helping to heal the communities and the cities as a whole. I exactly see the whole plan that God has for us. So this is beautiful. This is going to be beautiful, friends. So private message me. Let's go into that, because this is going to go in deep, and it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of energy. But I'm talking about serving Creator and serving humanity and serving Mother Earth as a whole. And everybody needs to step into their true healer, their true self. And it's that time to start working. The sooner, the better. You know, and it's just like enough with pillaging Mother Earth. But how can we give back? And this is one way to give back to Mother Earth, by helping her to ascend into new levels of energy, instead of constantly taking and constantly hurting her and constantly just like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Wow. I'm glad I got to enter into that. I'm glad I got to see all this stuff. Thank you, Miss Fran, for allowing me to read for you. Many blessings, light and love, sweetheart. I'm going to book a session just for this and what I can do. Private message me. We'll get it situated, sweetheart. Been feeling insane for a while. This planet is hurting from all that has happened. Oh, girl, it's crazy, but that's the truth. That is the truth. Beautiful. Would love a reading. All right, Miss Penny, we'll see what we could do. So yes, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So thank you, Miss Fran. All right. Today's readings are $5, $10, $15, and $25. All my pay links are linked below. My pay links are everywhere on this page. All right. So let's get on in this. All right. So my first free reading goes to Rosie Marie. Is Rosie Marie here? I think that's her name. So my first free reading is, I think it's Rosie Marie, and then I'm gonna do Tim, then Nikki, then Crystal, then Jocelyn. However, if I get another paid reading, they go first. Okay, but Tim is a paid reading, and then I'm waiting for my next paid reading. Is that gonna be you? All right, paid sessions are $5, $10, $15, $25. Those are guaranteed reads for the day. It's Ambrosia. Okay, thank you, Miss Ambrosia. All right, let's take a look. Just be receptive in your heart space. Let's see what comes out. What do I need to see for Miss Ambrosia, Miss Amber? Amber, do you take time out for yourself? I'm talking about time for yourself in every way. And what I mean by that is being in a cohesive mindset to allow yourself to heal and be with your spiritual team. Because they keep on showing me your spiritual path. You're on your spiritual path, but not giving it your all, or not putting in full motions of everything that needs to be done, because there's a lot that needs to be done. There's a lot that's happening around you, and they're calling out to you. They're calling out to you. I feel like I need to flip the deck. When I need to flip the deck, that means they were calling for a different set of cards. So let's see what I need to see for Amber. Not really. I feel like my spiritual team has disappeared. There's definitely some struggle here. What's happening? Why is she feeling like this? What's going on, spiritual team? How can she help? Thank you, Amanda. I got your payment. 1 second. All right. Yes, so just give me I'll let you know. Let me look here. So for Amber, they're going into they're talking about here, are you with somebody? Are you in a relationship? Something's happened in a relationship too, Miss Amber. What relationship is this? What are you guys speaking of? Show me. Is this her personal relationship or her spiritual relationship? This is spiritual relationship. Okay, they're talking about your spiritual relationship. What's stagnant here? Why is it stagnant? Show me. Why is her spiritual relationship stagnant? What's happening? Why? How can we fix this? Definitely need to get into some form of deception. There's deception in your heart. There's deception on your path. This is, what do you truly want to do in your spiritual path? Calling forth on the right people, like needing to call forth on the right deities, working with your deities a little bit stronger and your ancestors. Needing some health, like some spiritual healing. Needing to pay attention to those people that are trying to get you out of your path at the same time. I'm working with the basic Lenormand deck, and they're really focusing here on you and your nurturing and paying attention to the details, because people are trying to stop you from your true faith, like your true spiritual self. And you need to stop, because it's just like, you know your path, you know what's for you, but you're questioning. You're worried about getting bit again, something that might have happened or something that might happen again. And so this happens to be your spiritual relationship. That is, so in order to get this back on track, you need to not allow other people to put you in a space of deception, or not paying attention to your spiritual team, but truly going with your true heart. I don't know if it's like getting readings from other people that truly don't have your highest perspective in place or whatever. But it's just like, yeah, and it's stopping you from your true, like your true calling. And you know what you're called to do, and yet you literally feel like you're off. Literally, somebody's trying to take from you. They're taking you off your path, and it's just like, when is enough enough? You know your calling, you know what you're set to do, and it's just like, you got to get your house in order. You got to get, and what I mean by your house, you need to get this house, your temple, in order in every way. You have to get your temple in order in every way. And this is all pertaining to your spiritual self. You got to get your spiritual self together in every way. This means like a good cleansing, a good spiritual purge, getting yourself out into nature, releasing, healing, like all of it. Needing some good rest, some good one-on-one, like some good spiritual nourishment as soon as possible. The sooner you could get this spiritual nourishment, the sooner you could get everything back on track, the sooner that you'll start to feel one with your spiritual self again. When you could get back to feeling one with your spiritual self again, the better off that you're going to be. Because if you allow yourself to constantly stay in this space that you're at, you're not going to see the spiritual growth that you want. So the sooner, the better. Okay? The sooner, the better. So thank you, Miss Ambrosia, for allowing me to read for you. Many blessings, light, and love. I'm sorry you don't trust me. Trust me, I understand not trusting anybody, but at the same time, you're going to have people that you can trust. You know, I'm always a text away. I'm always a private message away, or whatever. Don't ever feel like you're alone in your spiritual path. That's my mission. That's part of my mission and my journey, is to help everybody on their spiritual path and let them know that they're not alone, and to help them on, you know, with whatever. I dabble in everything. There's not one thing that I don't know about, or that I don't completely understand. So it's nothing but just a text away, because you have to understand that there's more to all this whole spiritual path than just a little bit. You know, you need to dig a little bit. We need to do some Akashic record searching, and let's start to figure out what your journey and your mission is, because the sooner you can figure that out, the better that you're going to start to fill in here. And that's what's key here. Okay. I feel like my sage is not wanting to burn properly, and it's driving me crazy. All right. Anyways, so that was that. Thank you, everybody. My next one is going out to Tim. Tim, do you have a question for me? You paid for a general. But if you have a question, I'm open to that. My next one's going to Tim, and then Nikki, and then Amanda, then Crystal, and then Jocelyn. That's my list. Of course, if I get another paid session, those kind of go first. So free paid is how I work. Today's readings are very cheap, $5, $10, $15, and $25. My pay links are tagged and pinned at the bottom, and of course across your screen. All right. All right, Tim. Just a general? All right. Sounds good. Let's see. Why do I need to see for Tim? And Tim's reading is coming in at 5:55 my time. All right. What do I need to see for Tim? You're definitely not alone, Tim. Your spiritual team are very strong, very beautiful. Lots of ancestors around. You got this bear that's around you that's coming in to protect you. Got strength around you. 6 of Coins is coming in a reversed position. As the first card. This is where money issues can be at hand. Money issues definitely can be at hand here. Debt at the same time. Definitely coming through something because the towers are coming in reverse. This is like continued oppression. Something's like holding you down. Definitely suggest a good spiritual cleansing at this point. The Hermit is coming in, feeling like alone. You're withdrawn, doing your own thing. Not feeling like communicating with a lot of people. You're regressing. And I keep on hearing truth will prevail. Truth will prevail. Especially truthful of being truth in here. And then the Queen of Wands comes in. This is like overcoming obstacles or needing to overcome obstacles, but being, once again, you have to be fickle as you go through this in order for you to get your success, in order for you to get the money and everything that you're looking for. This is like really coming through obstacles, coming through hurdles, but I feel like you're through, because they show me a mountain, you were here, but you're coming down the mountain now. So things are going to start to fall back in place. But just as such, you've been through a lot. So it's just like you got a lot to overcome. And so as you have a lot to overcome, they keep on saying to tell you that you're not alone through this process. So with that, with them keep on saying that you're not alone, this is where they're saying for you to be one with yourself at the same time. Let's see. I need to flip the deck. And then the Ace of Wands is coming in a reverse position. This is literally where, looking at the whole situation so far, this is a cancellation of plans or something where it's just like not paying attention to the plans at hand. And it's like needing to do something else, but we're like not fully wanting to because we don't know the outcome. But you have to understand that part of this, part of everything, is by just doing. You know, sometimes in life when you just don't know what to do, but you know that you're supposed to do something, like especially if it's a big move, although you don't want to move without a good plan, sometimes a good, you know, just to say, you know what, I know I'm supposed to go, so I'm just going to go. Sometimes just doing it and just jumping, like that spur of the moment kind of decision, is exactly what you might need, because staying in the situation that you're in is just like, it's like enough is enough. I need to shake off some of this toxic stuff. It's just like, okay, enough is enough. And that's literally what your spiritual team are talking about, is like, how much more do you want to take of this? And you need that nourishment, because it's like you are constantly in your mind. You're constantly, you know, you're constantly at war with your own mindset at the same time. And that stuff that's around you, like your heart, people being loyal to you, people not misleading you, misguiding you. The bear is coming out. The strength is there. Interesting. Definitely a lot of strength. Lots of information's coming. Lots of stuff is getting ready to happen. There is something having to do with a female or somebody, a partner, something with a partner. There's information with a partner. I'm not sure if you're in a relationship or this is something to come, but the way that this is coming out, like, this could even be a friendship that could turn into something more. But they said, before you go into this relationship, know that there's more to it than just a little bit. And they said, do you really want to go into a relationship with knowing that you're getting ready to leave? It's like one of those things again. And it's like making you feel like, do I stay or do I go? Well, it's just like, why base it off of this or that? Why not just say, okay, well, this is what I know I need to do. You have many roads and paths that are open for you. It's whether or not you're going to choose this person stopping you from going, or whether or not you're just going to go, or this situation stopping you from going. You staying in the same situation is not key, though. It's still they're still talking about a big move for you, and making that move happen and getting through these emotions. Looking at all these cards and everything that's coming out, it's still it's like a big move that's getting ready to happen, and it's whether or not you want it to happen or not. But trying to listen to this person and that person and this and that, it's just like, okay, listen to your intuition. Your intuition isn't going to misguide you. And I keep on seeing the water, moving away from the water, or like moving from one side to the other side, and the information is going to come out. So it's just like, I'd rather at this point look for a job in the state that you want to be in, work for something that you feel like is righteous for you and yourself, and get to it, because it's just like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like, it's just like, enough with all the drama and all the BS, and let's just make it happen. Sometimes you just got to take that leap of faith, and that's what your spiritual team are saying. Choose to take the leap of faith and then watch things work for you. It might not happen right away, but you know, when you move, it takes about a good 6 to 8 months before things fall directly in place. But it's time to start to put the motions in place. The sooner the better. The sooner the better, literally. Okay. So thank you, Tim, for allowing me to read for you. Many blessings, light, and love. All right, Nikki Holden. What do I need to see for Nikki? All right. Love a reading of drawn. Okay, thank you. Hold on one second. Let me grab this candle over here. Okay. All right. Life is way too short not to be happy, guys. Like, way too short. And sometimes, you know, we have to recognize that some things that happen in our life are meant to happen. I'm a firm believer that there's a reason and a purpose for everything if we just pay attention to the details. And sometimes we don't want to pay attention to the details because of that. Great. However, if we do pay attention to the details, I feel like you'll be able to get through a lot of stuff too. Sometimes we don't want to, though, because sometimes it hurts. Big change hurts sometimes. Definitely, it can hurt. Leaving somebody, leaving something that you don't truly want to leave, it definitely hurt. All right. The next reading is going out to Nikki Holden. All my stuff is there at the pinned at the bottom. 5, 10, 15, 25 bucks. $25 gives you the full reading. 5, 10, 15, and 25. I believe that's what it is, right? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to do Nikki, and then after I do Nikki, I'm going to go ahead and work on Amanda. So Amanda Bailey, get ready for your questions. What do I need to see for Nikki Holden? So, Nikki, remember when, okay, so this goes back with them showing me the video, us talking the other day, and messages from your mom. What's going on? Show me. They're talking about, and what your mother's showing me is the depression that's around you and it not being conducive to what's happening in your life. So it's just like you have a lot going on in your life, and like she keeps on saying, like, the stress needs to leave. The stress needs to leave. And so when they say that the stress needs to leave, it's because the stress and everything that has happened, the stress of even like if it's of her passing away or whatever the situation might be, it's just like enough is enough. Like, you have to understand that, yes, grief is going to be there, stress is going to be there, but at what point does it affect our health where it's just like, okay, this is too toxic for me. Like, I can't do this anymore. You have to understand that enough is enough. So they said, enough is enough. Like, stop allowing people to stress you out, take advantage of you, make you feel some sort of way. Stop all the stress and the worries. And sometimes it's just like, just go with the flow. You know what I mean? And that's what they keep on saying. Learn to go with the flow, because if you allow life to stress you out like this, you're going to allow the life to live you and you not live your life. And that is not the way to be. You cannot sit here and allow yourself, like, just to be there. Like, it's a lot. Look at the cards. Literally, the first one says clinging to the past. And that's literally where you're just in your mind constantly. Maybe you don't feel like getting out of bed. You don't feel like doing the things that you know you need to do, but you have to do it. And look, there's literally the stress card is coming out. You're trying to handle everything and make it seem like you don't, like, everything's okay, when you know that you're definitely going through it. You're literally fighting through your emotions. And it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. So they said enough is enough. 1 second, guys. So they keep on saying enough is enough. Allow yourself to let this go. It's okay, you know, to go through your emotions and go through things, right? Because it's okay to grieve and it's okay to go through all this stuff. Yes, I was just talking about my hold on. Yes, I was just talking about my aunt about this. I need to get out of this. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. the sooner the better. The sooner the better. And the inner voice part is coming in, and they're literally saying, pay attention to your intuition. And not just that, but you know that your mother's around. You know that you have people that are there for you. And that was one of the biggest things when my father died was, you know, knowing that he was there. Of course, I could sense his energy and sense his presence, but it was still missing him, missing that touch from dad, missing his hugs, missing his kisses, missing, you know, missing that one-on-one time that we had together. However, they're saying to turn inward, turn to your spiritual side, allow your spiritual side to come out, because I feel like once your spiritual side could come out, there's going to be like no turning back. So it's just about you being active in your life and not, like I said, not allowing life to live you, but you to live your life. The sooner you could get that process going, the better off that you're going to be. Okay. So thank you, Miss Nikki, for allowing me to read for you. Many blessings, light and love, darling. All right. All right. Amanda. Miss Amanda Bailey. What's your questions for me, darling? Let's see. Okay. You're so welcome. All right. My next one's going to Amanda Bailey. Then Crystal. Then Ebony. Got a payment from Miss Ebony. Ebony Connor, to be exact. You don't know what to ask. Okay. How about this? I'm going to give you a little bit more time. You think about it. I'm going to do another free reading so I can get through some of the people that have been waiting on the free list. So I'm going to do Miss Crystal real quick. You could do a general and a mediumship. You can do them both. But I'm going to, is Miss, 1 second. Clear out some of my list there. All right, Crystal. Let's see. Today's readings are $5, $10, $15, and $25. $5, $10, $15, and $25. Even if I put you on the free list, please know I'm still open to donations. If it vibes with you, resonates with you, please either share out a donation, share out you can write a review. You can send it back to somebody, you know, but I'm always open for donations. All right, Miss Crystal. What do I need to see from Miss Crystal? I'm going to flip the deck. Crystal Billings. What do I need to see from Crystal? Crystal, they're talking about, your spiritual team are talking about telling ourselves that we're happy sometimes when we're not. It's like faking it till we're making it, right? Go ahead. But how long are you going to live by that concept without dealing with the situation? How long are you going to deal with the concept without dealing with the situation at the same time? Right? And so they said, how long? We need to be able to deal with whatever's holding us back. Yes, you could fake it till you make it. But at some point, you have to deal with the things that are at bay and stop brushing things under the rug and dealing with the emotions, the traumas, the guilt, the pains of everything. And this is, they're showing me like feeling unsteady within myself, or like is this myself or the spiritual path? Not knowing a place to go, not knowing which way I want to go. And it's just like, okay, but you know ultimately where your heart is. And if your heart's not in it, then why do we still allow deception to take place? We have to deal with this deception, deal with people trying to like unroot us in a sense, literally. Looking at these cards that are coming out, like you feel like unstable. There's deception that because they keep on showing me like the darkness of the night, but they're even through the darkness of the night, there's still light at the end of the tunnel. And it's just like there's just a lot that's happening, and it's just like not sure whether or not I want to go right or left. And it's just like there are paths that are open to you, and it's just like, well, what the truth here is, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go next? And sometimes, a lot of the times, it's knowing when to listen to your intuition, even when you don't quite know. And be that as it may, because I'm just speaking, like, I know to some it might mean mumbo jumbo, but your dreams are still at hand. And everything that you do in life, you keep on putting it off or putting it on the back burner. And ultimately, you do want to achieve them, but it's just like, how much longer are you going to put your dreams and things on the back burner for somebody else's relation, because of somebody else, and instead of doing what you want to do? You know, like you can only put yourself on the back burner for so long before you start getting tired, especially if this has to deal with a relationship, you know. If the relationship that you're in is holding you back from achieving your goals, you really need to take a second peek at some things. Like you need to still be able to, you know, even a relationship, you know, if he loves you, if this other person loves you, they're going to back you up no matter what. But enough of paying attention to everybody, what everybody else needs, but you have to pay attention to what you need too, ultimately. Because that's literally what I feel, what they keep on showing me is holding you back from your truest path, from your truest self in here. And we got to get that together. Sooner you could get that in order, the better off that you're going to be. Okay. So thank you for allowing me to read for you. I know for some it might seem like mumbo jumbo, but that's what Spirit said. That's what needed to be said. So it is what it is. So please deal with that. The sooner the better. Because the way that they make me feel, like something is holding you back, and they want you to be free in every way. And in order for you to be free, you have to be truthful with yourself. You know what I mean? And especially when it comes to something that you want to do. Like, I don't care if it's going back to school. I don't care if it's putting your needs first. I don't care if it's getting your nails done instead of going to grab dinner. I don't care if it's like doing something for yourself, like putting your goals back on to the front of the stove is what they keep on showing me. In order to put your goals back onto the front of the stove, you have to reanalyze what you've always wanted to do in life and what you're doing now. And if you're not doing it, then what can we do to do it? Like, enough is enough, right? So thank you, Miss Crystal, for allowing me to read for you. All right, going back here. All right, Amanda Bailey. I need a drink, 1 second. Okay. I forgot I had those in here. All right. Yes, ma'am. You're welcome. All right. Amanda Bailey. What shall we do for Amanda Bailey today? Show me what I need to see for Amanda Bailey. Hello. From Belgium. Wow. Well, hello from Ohio. Nice to meet you. Is Juji still here? I'll put him on my list, on my free list. MJ. On my free list, I have Jocelyn and Juji. And I'm going to work on Amanda Bailey right now. And remember, you guys have to stay with me if you guys want your readings, okay? All right. Let's see. Amanda Bailey. What do I need to see for Amanda Bailey? I call on her spiritual team. Yes, Trish, I seen the payment. I got you on my list. Be sure. Yep, I got you on my list. I got you. So on my paid list, I have Amanda, Ebony, and Trish. That's my paid list. And on my free list, I have Jocelyn and Juji. Those are my people I'm working on right now. Today is 5, 10, 15, and 25 bucks for readings. And we're open up to donations. All my links for payments are at the bottom. And yes, I do accept Facebook payments. All right. Is Amanda Bailey on? I don't want her to miss her reading. Is Amanda Bailey here? If not, I'll probably wait for her to come back on. Yep. Okay, perfect. She says she's here. All right. Show me what I need to see from you. All right, Amanda. All you need to do is just open your heart space. Is there someone particular that you want to call upon in the realms as a loved one, anything like that? Otherwise, your spiritual team is so strong right now. Mother? Did your grandmother pass away? There's a womanly figure here there's a womanly figure. There's a woman here, and she to me feels like a mother. A motherly type of a figure, whether or not it's a grandmother, but it feels like this is something having to do, this woman's coming in from your mother's line. But there's a woman here. And so she's coming to me as a protector. She's letting me know that she watches, and she protects. Let me see if I could get Corey. Let's see if I could get Corey, who I'm named after. Okay. Well, know that she's around you. She I feel like when she comes through, go ahead. She's telling me that she comes through as protection. Thank you. Let's see, can I? Corey. Hold on, we're having a little bit of problems connecting to Corey. Give me a second here. Hold on, guys. Let me raise my frequency real quick. My name is EvaMarie. I'm a Native American shaman, and I have Amanda Bailey. Says, yes, I know her very well. I know her very well. Do you have messages that you want to speak to her about? Anything that you want to speak to her to let her know that you're here? Anything that you want to correlate to? Tell me a story. Let her know that you're here. Anything that you want to speak on? I'm receptive to everybody. So how this works is you speak to me and I'll speak to her. So it's just like a telephone. I'll tell her anything that you're saying, anything that you want to show me or need to show me. I'm receptive. Letting her know that you're here, that it's you. Like, is there something that was shared between you two? Is there something that you want to speak upon between you two? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get Corey to work with me here. I'm gonna tell you guys, so how this works is I get visions, and right now I'm getting a vision of like being in what I would say is like taking a walk in like in a park, or like it's like a forest preserve, or like a, I don't know how, like as if I'm taking a hike somewhere. And as I'm walking, I feel like I'm hand in hand and we're just like walking and talking. And as we're walking and talking, it's just like letting in. So this person, like, it's just like letting in information. They're giving me information, like they're talking like some of our deepest, like as if we're sharing like deepest of thoughts, deepest of information, like as if that kind of feeling. So when Corey comes in, Amanda, they're coming in and they're speaking about, like, they're reminiscing upon the past. And I keep on hearing, once again, let me tell you guys something. Just because someone passes away or they feel like a connection that isn't there anymore, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're gone. you have to understand that just because someone passes away, they're still present. It's one of our firm beliefs that when they pass, they go into another realm, but just because we can't see them doesn't mean that we can't feel them or that we can't sense their presence or sense their energy. I mean, they're letting me know that they're very much around you. Your spiritual team, the veil between you and your spiritual team are very thin. They're very much present with you, Amanda. And so because of that, and he keeps on grabbing my wrist. This person keeps on grabbing my wrist. As if I'm being tickled on my hand and my wrist, kind of a feeling. And they're trying to make me feel like a gentle touch. Tell me about the situation here, because I feel like I want to talk to you more about like on a one-on-one phase. I want to talk to you in person. Like you and I need to maybe set up an appointment. Okay, our names are tattooed on each other's wrists. Okay, I'm with you. Because that's why, because I have tattoos all over me, and he's like, they're feeling like as if I'm feeling on my wrist, and I'm getting like a feeling down this wrist right here. So, and it's just like as if I'm being tickled on my wrists. This person cared for you an awful lot, like a lot. The left wrist too. Okay. So that makes sense. Now, the reason why I want to talk to you is because this person feels unsettled. What I mean by that is that there's something more to this passing than just a little bit. And you need to understand that it just doesn't make me feel like I'm settled at all. Like at all. Why do I feel so unsettled with this person? Corey, why am I feeling unsettled with this? Why? How did this person die? Like something is not right. Something isn't right. It was sudden. I'm sure unfinished business was. He is definitely young. Like something isn't like. It's just like it just makes me feel like too much undone. Because they keep on showing me like strings, and it's just like an incomplete string, like an incomplete thought, an incomplete feeling, incomplete for sure. But it's just like, and then I don't know why, but I keep on seeing cars. Keep on seeing what's up with this car. I keep on seeing different color cars randomly pass through my visions and overdose. Why are you showing me a car? What's up with this car? You have this car. Okay. I literally feel like I was just taken. Go ahead, Corey. I'm receptive. As if I was just taken. As if I'm in the passenger seat and you're driving. And then I'm paying attention, like as if I'm all like when we talk in the car, and it's just like we could sometimes just pull over and sit and talk for days. And in a sense, I feel like I'm high in a sense. But I'm in, what color is the interior? Is it, I feel like there's I keep on seeing like a gray interior, or like it's like a gray or cream interior. I don't know why he's showing me this, but there's something in the mirror that he's making me keep on paying attention, like as if there's something in the rear view mirror. You know how we hang stuff in the rear view mirror? Sometimes I hang crystals, especially like if I'm going on a long trip. I will hang a crystal in my rear view, that whole thing, for protection. Keep on seeing a king. Go ahead, show me. Bear with me, guys. Spirit's taking me somewhere real quick. Go ahead. I'm receptive. Gray and black interior, and the only thing is the air freshener. There's something that he's making me pay attention to. I don't know, is it because it's distracting you? No, he likes it. Like he's talking about this smell, like I like as if I'm getting a scent of something that I really am attracted to, in a sense. It's that kind of a feeling. And go ahead. Hold on. I'm listening. Why did you? Oh, what happened? He says it wasn't that I took too much. It was that it was stronger than usual. I'm not sure what this person took, but it was stronger than usual, as if I was testing it, and it was stronger than usual. Because it's like I'm taking all the same stuff, but it's stronger than usual, or it's something more than what I was given. And if somebody wanted to look at the situation, like it's as if it's like somebody's completely being taken out. Sorry. So when I tend to scribble when I am channeling, sometimes when spirit wants to go deep into something, so bear with me. So sometimes spirit's just like they want me to go somewhere, and I just allow them to take me where they need to take me for whatever purpose, if they're trying to show me something or whatever. And especially being right now with Dia de los Muertos, you know, the veils are super thin. I love reading for people. I love to help people. And it's just like with this, when I said that with his death, like something felt off. Like he's saying, like I feel as if like there was more to this. As I said before, there's more to this than a little bit. And that's what this is all about. And he shows me being around you a lot. And letting you know that I'm not gone. And he keeps on saying, learn from my mistakes, learn from my patterns. It was laced, it was cocaine and fentanyl, and it was 90% fentanyl. Oh, girl. And the people who sold him the drug got raided, but they didn't get manslaughter because the drugs seized weren't an exact match. Girl. His friend was there and got scared and left him there, hoping he woke up. Oh. Oh. I'm so sorry, Corey. And he says, so, and he says, and for that, he says, and for that, he's like, it's just, he says, now do you understand why, like, I don't feel complete? He says, okay, so let me tell you guys something. And this is just something, so I've been reading from people, so I'm 42 years old. I've been reading for people since I was 15. I've been gifted with these gifts for many, many years since I was a child, okay? I was born with these gifts. My grandmother died when I was 10. That was the first time that I got to see someone that I was related to, but I was always seeing spirits and ghosts. Even when I was small, they have pictures of me playing with like little orbs and stuff like that. The spirit realm has always been attracted to me, and I've been always attracted to the spiritual realm. As I said, being a shaman, I have a strong family history on both sides of my family of healers and stuff like that. I have a strong sense to different spirits when they pass, okay? And so sometimes spirits, they take me through visions. They help me to watch a video of their life, things that happen, things that they want me to pay attention to. I've only been on a live, doing live videos, I would say since 2016, 2017 through Facebook. You could actually go through some of my videos there. I have tons of videos on my page at Shamanic Phoenix Guidance by EvaMarie. You guys can go check out all my videos. I share lots of information, lots of spiritual information through every video that you will ever see. I love reading for people. This is what I do. This is my passion, okay? I literally got out of the medical field where I was making $30-something an hour. Loved what I did. However, I loved helping people to see here in this spiritual realm, in the spiritual realms, you know, it's helping people, helping the spiritual realms and things like helping people and stuff like that. So, and helping spirits in general. So the reason, part of my mission and my journey is to help everybody everywhere, okay? To let them know that they're not alone, especially with their spiritual gifts, okay? Now, the reason why I'm bringing all this up is to let you guys know that sometimes when I get messages like this, okay, especially Corey's messages, when someone dies, the reason why I brought all this up, when someone dies of a couple different things, it's hard for them to understand whether or not they're fully, like, what has happened to them, like what happened to me, that kind of deal. So one of them happens to be, so you know when through the pandemic, they were putting everybody on the oxygen and stuff like that, and they do all their work, and then they'll put them, and then sometimes they wouldn't wake up and they'll actually die. When they done that, a lot of the spirits that would that were passing away on the ventilators, when they didn't know whether or not what had happened. So I sat with God, Source, and Mother Earth to help to ascend all these spirits, because the spirits were coming in and they were like quickly. And so it was a lot to process on the other side. So we were having to process. And so I helped spirits to process the other side, things like that. And so when people pass away from one being on something to that nature of that, I can't even think to myself, hold on, gotta block this person. If someone passes away from an overdose, or like in a sleep form or matter, it's hard for them to understand what's happening to them, whether or not they're awake or not, or whether or not they're dead or what has happened. With Corey's situation, okay, with him having an overdose, so sometimes spirits can get stuck in limbo because they have a lot of unfinished business or lots of emotions that go with this, and so they're going through a lot. So the Corey situation, he is just like, there's a lot going on with this. He's not quite in limbo, okay? He's right outside of limbo, but he's still dealing with a lot of emotional issues surrounding his passing. Okay, and so because of that, this is hard for him. So with this, Amanda, know that he's sending his love, but it's just like it hurts him because he's telling me, like, I had a whole life left to live, and I don't feel like I got to live it. And that's what truly hurts me more than everything. That's what hurts me. And so with that, you know, it's like one of those things where it hurts to hear spirits talk like this, but I understand because they feel like they were taken, like their life has been taken from them. And so when a spirit comes through like this, I have to give them time and I have to let them speak so that we can help them to ascend, to let them know, yes, Corey, like you have passed on. However, even though you have passed on, it is okay. It is okay. And so I activate his spiritual team to help him to ascend, to let him know that it is okay. So Corey, it is okay. You are on the other side. Everything is okay. Because literally, Amanda, he still rides with you. He still rides with you. Yes, he had 4 kids too. He had such a strong bond. Oh yeah, for sure. And he still rides. Like because he gave you the car, it's like it has his essence in there. And so he's definitely very much present, very much forward, very much there in a sense. And so with that, know that he, it's just like, look, I'm never gone from the situation. And he says, I will never be gone for as long as I'm allowed to be here, to be with, to see my children, to be with people that I still love. Like how do you go on and continue to live that spiritual life, and on that side too. And it's one of those things, Corey, where it's going to take time, but eventually, so I activate your spiritual team to help you to understand the process. You do have to go through the situation so that you can heal, so that you can also help to maybe one day relive a certain path, or maybe even in a parallel line, something to that nature. But you're definitely not alone. You're very much missed and loved. Looking, the way the energy that I get from Amanda, she definitely very much loves and misses you, as well as your children. And so they're always going to be there for you. And know that you're not alone. He says it's just hard. It's hard because it's like, he's telling me, it's like talking to people, and like he hears people talk to him, like he's hearing you talk to him, like hearing people talk to him, but them not hearing me back. And let me key in on that. When you are in communication and you can feel that spirit around you, go into a quick meditation and just clear your mind as quickly as you can. Go sit in a quiet room, clear your mind as quickly as you can. And what you're going to do is, for me, I activate my spiritual team, and then I clear out my mind, and then I say, okay, for me, I call him on my father, my spiritual team, whatever. I activate my spiritual team for blessing, protection, and healing. I call my father, and I'll say, hey, I can feel your energy. Is there a message that you might have for me? Is there something that you might, or is it just that you want to be here with me? And sometimes, like, even if I just want to call forth on my father because I miss him or whatever, I can feel his presence come forward, and then he'll sit with me, and we'll sit and we'll have our conversation so that he and I can have that one-on-one time still. So that first response that you get when you ask a question, you're going to question whether or not that was what you heard, or is this truly something that came over from the other side. That first response is always them. The second response is normally yourself telling you didn't hear what you just heard. So it's about believing and understanding what you're hearing and seeing at that point. Okay. So with that, know that he does come through. Okay. But I miss him so much, and I've seen him in dreams, but he don't talk to me. It's weird. So that's the key. So in dreams, so the way that spirits speak to people, especially if for those that, all their gifts aren't completely in tune and things like that, is the process of least resistance. For me, they'll come through this way, through my visions and things like that. Before that, it was just through my dreams. So that's the process of least. The first one is through dreams, visions. It could be a deja vu kind of a feeling. It could be a premonition that you might get. But they always, if they can, they'll try to communicate to you in those forms. But it's whether or not you're attuned or paying attention to those forms of energy at the same time. So there's that part. So know that he is definitely trying to get a hold of you. and that he is letting you know first and foremost that he is okay. Okay. So with that, know that Corey is okay, Amanda, and that he's like, I love you with everything that I am. And he's like, talk to me and pay attention because I'm gonna talk back to you. Like he's like, I will talk back. I never get police riding down my street like that. So there's that. Okay, so just know that he's definitely present. Let me see if there's any other messages on the spiritual realms. Anything else for Amanda Lily that we need to speak on? You're talking about, Amanda, they keep on showing me you work, like doing something or like as if I'm working, and not doing something that I really like not paying attention to my passions in life because of everything that you've had to deal with in the recent years. You haven't been able to pay attention to your passions in life. And so I really want you to sit down and start to create your plan in life. Like where, what do you feel like doing? Where is it that what is it that you put off that it's time for us to start paying attention to? Because your spiritual team are saying, hey, there's things that we need to start to do. If, we can only sit still for so long, but they're trying, your spiritual team, they're just like, hey, look, it's time to get things together here. We got to get things together here. It's like order in the court. We got to start to organize our lives, start to put things in order, especially in the job front, especially in the home front, things like that, getting things together, which makes sense because the first card that's coming in, I'm using just the Zen Tarot deck. And the first one talks about exhaustion, feeling exhausted, feeling definitely in your mind, feeling like you're being pulled in many different directions. And then the integration part, this is where it's like pulling through, paying attention to the whole mind, body, soul, heart, spirit, paying attention to what you're being drawn to, knowing that it's like one thing is over, but something else is getting ready to start if you allow yourself to go there, but not starting something else too soon that you're not ready or prepared for. But paying attention to everything. And it's just the Rebel card is coming out, which is like breaking free of something. And it's like breaking free and paying attention to our next move. It's needing to organize and start to put things back in order, if that makes sense for you. And it's not just about it's not about letting go, because let me tell you something, when you lose somebody, it's never about letting go. It's just knowing that one day we two will meet again in the future, but knowing that right now you have a life to live, and that there's many openings and possibilities, because I keep on seeing roads are opening for you that you need to be prepared for, and you need to start getting things in order. So looking at the cards that are coming out for you at the bottom, they're talking about change is definitely coming your way. Lots of change, but it's whether or not you're going to proceed with the integration process, because you're so tired and you need to get the mind, body, soul back in order. And as I said, releasing yourself from mental exhaustion and mental constraints, letting go, putting things back in order, because new opportunities are definitely coming your way. And they talk about experiencing, and they're talking about experiencing life, experiencing everything that everything that like the universe has for me. It's like at this point, sky's the limit. But they're saying you have to get things put in order. The sooner the better, if that makes sense. Okay. So thank you, Amanda, for allowing me to read for you. Thank you, Corey, for coming through. Many blessings, love, and light to both of you. And thank you to her spiritual team, above all, for allowing me to read for her. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Amanda, for allowing me to read for you. Okay. Thank you so much. If you paid, let me know that you paid so I know where to go next. All right, my next one's going out to Jocelyn. Is Jocelyn Stevens here? Jocelyn Stevens. All right, I'm gonna flip the deck for Miss Jocelyn. All right, what do I need to see for Jocelyn? I'm gonna do Jocelyn, then I'm gonna do Ebony, then Juji, then Trish, and then crystal. That's my process so far. Jocelyn. All right. So I'm using a basic Lenormand deck just to see what all comes out for you. So the first card is talking about outings or getting out, not feeling stuck, not feeling constrained. Opportunities. Talking about grounding your foundation, though. So they're talking about your foundation here. Strengthening the foundation. Strengthening the foundation. What foundation does she need to strengthen? Getting through some emotions, needing to cut through emotions. Because emotions sometimes could be overran. Feeling like I just took, like as if you're getting information that you don't like, not getting every part of details out. It's like someone's giving me a story, but they're not telling me everything. And you got to pay attention because somebody's like trying to, like I keep on feeling like a cotton ball is in my ear. Someone's trying to pass something over on you that isn't truthful. And it's, no. They're trying to break, I feel like, break a relationship up or stop something from happening. This is a female. You need to pay attention to those that are around you, Jocelyn. You need to pay attention to the people that are around you. Somebody is giving you information that is not righteous. It's not great, and they're not telling the truth. And I keep on hearing like it's all about the little white lies, and that little white lie can break something up that you've been really working on for a long time. And they're saying you need to pay attention and listen to the discernment, listen to everything, especially if it has to deal with a relationship, because a loyalty card is coming in here and it's in reverse. So they're saying pay attention to the details, because I feel like I don't have all the complete information. And then the snake is coming out, and it's just like not wanting to get bit again. And you're putting all yourself into different into this relationship or some type of relationship that you're giving yourself to. And somebody is not being truthful here. I'm not getting all the information. This could be where it leads into a breakup, or it leads into a union not taking place, whether or not it's a business union or whether or not it's a relationship union. Something isn't going to take place because of gossip and slander. And just as such, if you allow it to interfere, then it can, or understand that we're adults and we're not in high school anymore, and it is okay to see things from a different perspective instead of the way someone else might want to tell the story from their own point of view. And somebody through this point is like, there's a male energy that's being childish and not giving me the full truth, and it's just like, enough is enough. You need to understand, like, you're a grown-ass woman. We're not in high school anymore, and we could definitely, you know, get away from the bullshit, especially when it comes to our love life. Like, sometimes you can't tell your girlfriend about how good your sex life is because that person is gonna want that too, and then you understand that, you know, your relationship might break up with somebody because you done told your girlfriend about how good the sex was, and now she wants to see and experience how good that sex was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes some stories just don't need to be shared, and we need to understand, like, understand those situations and know what stories to share and what stories not to share, because there's someone here that does not have your best interest at hand, and they will sit here and call themselves your friend, and they're not. So you need to pay attention to the details ASAP. Okay, so there is that, Miss Jocelyn. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. Hold on, let me close this window real quick, and then I'm going to work with Miss Ebony. Ebony, what is your question for me? What are y'all eating for dinner? I'm starving. What time is it? 7 o'clock. I gotta start thinking. I wonder what he's doing for dinner tonight. I wonder Wait, my husband is cooking for dinner. What y'all eating for dinner? Or what did you guys have for dinner? It's 7 o'clock my time. I'm not sure what time it is your time. But around this part, it's dinner time. All right, so let's see what's going on with Miss Ebony. All right. Do. Hello, Margaret. Hello. All right, Miss Ebony. All right, Ebony. Tonight's readings, everybody's 5, 10, 15, and 25 bucks. Let me read what Ebony. Is my baby going to go through this disease eventually? Hold on, what? Is my baby going to get through this disease eventually, be able to do everything? No, what's going on? And should I go Yeah, that is a lot. That sounds good. Shit on sheet boots doesn't sound half bad. Doesn't sound half bad. All right, so that's a lot, Miss Ebony. So we're gonna see what's going on. So show me what I need to see from this. Let's see. Where is my opinion? What do I need to see? She might have CP. Have you taken her to a doctor for that? Like, I'm not quite sure what CP is. Oh, cerebral palsy. Let's see. Does Mario see what's going on with this? He does see what's going on. And he says that he hates that you have to go through this feeling like you're alone. And go ahead, I'm receptive. Ouch. Sitting on a crystal, that didn't feel too good. Now, let me see. Does the baby... So, with everything, did you take her to a doctor to get all the tests that needs to be done for cerebral palsy? Like, I know they had to go through a whole slew of tests with this. And then with that, I keep on feeling like I need or wanting to get a second opinion with this, especially when it comes to something at this level of information. Like with this, you want to be sure that you got the best of the best going to OSU to go, to be sure, is there like someone there that can, for the second opinion. This isn't something that you just want to get one person's opinion on and just, no, this is somebody that you want to, this is something that you want to get 2 and 3 people's worth of information. Like you want to listen to a lot of different doctors instead of just one. So when it comes to this information, does he see what's going on? Yes. And as I stated, he wishes that he was here through this whole situation instead of feeling like, like you're feeling like you're alone with this process. So, and he says, please, he says, let them know that I love them, like letting the kids know that I love them so much and missing you guys a lot. And go ahead. He's in agreement because he's like, yes, please, like get a second and third opinion. I completely agree. When it comes to should you report the car stolen to get the car from the family, like I do see that you're going through a lot of stuff with the family. Like it can start to get worse and things like that. But when it comes to everything, you have to understand. It's like, do you want a fight? Do you want to start a fight at this point? Because it's just like at this point, it's like what I keep on feeling is needing people to understand your position and who you were to him. You understand what I mean? And it's needing people to understand that he was with you for all this time, you know, for however many years you were together, throughout everything that he went through. It's just like wanting, in a sense, it's like wanting people to know who you were to him, and feeling as if people aren't remembering how much he loved and cared for not just you, but you, your daughter, everybody here. And so with that, and in a sense, it's creating a lot. It's creating a lot of drama. It's creating a lot of fuss and fight that you have to really figure out, is this something that you want to continue dealing with at this point? Because it's just like you're still going through grief, and the grief of him, and right now you're at the angry portion of it. And with anger, it's like one of those things when you're going through grief and you hit that angry portion of it, it's like, do I really want to deal with that anger, or do I just want it to pass? Like with my father, when he passed, his girlfriend, okay, which he was with for a long time, she actually stole his what do you call it, the life insurance policy. She stole the life insurance policy. What was supposed to go to, according to my father when he passed, it was supposed to go to his grandkids. Okay, that's what he said in front of me, a nurse there at the hospital, and her. She states, we'll deal with that later. She ends up stealing his life insurance policy, and because he changed the name from my brother's name to her name to be sure that everything was going to be equally divided out. She knew what was supposed to happen. She ended up taking his life insurance policy for herself. My uncles and my aunt knew about this. They supported her and everything. It caused this big old rift between me, my uncles, and my aunts from her. And so she inserted herself into their life. And it's just like all my aunts and uncles that were supposed to be there for us because we lost our father, she made it all about them and caused this whole big thing while we're in the process of grieving because of my father's passing. So she stole my father's life insurance policy and used it for whatever she wanted. Okay, so we never got to see any of my father's life insurance. So this is my thing for everybody watching this video. If you have, you know, something that you want, be sure that you got it down in your will and all of your stuff, because don't assume that your significant other is going to do what you want with it, because it will not happen the way that you think that it is. Because once you're dead and gone, it's like everybody for themselves, and it caused a big old rift in the family. Still to this day, I have beef with my uncles because of the way that they see her and the way that they see me. Like I was all kinds of bitches and all kinds of shit. Like it's just like I could care less. I was there for my father. I could care less about what the fuck they all said. I know the truth. My father knows the truth. She knows the truth ultimately, besides what she told my aunts and all that other bullshit, you know, or whoever she told. You know, it's because she wasn't the whole power of attorney and all this other bullshit. I could care less. I did what I had to do for my father, and that was it. So all of this to say, when people pass away, those people that you think are supposed to be there for you and in your corner are normally not. Okay, so be sure everything is in writing, in detail, before you go living your best life and end up passing on from whatever. Okay, so the way that this is all happening, Miss Ebony, is it's whether or not at this point do you want the drama. Because I could have kept on the drama and sued her and did everything and took her to court and everything. I don't care whether or not she paid for it or not. My father said what he wanted it to go for. He did pay for it out of the money he was getting, because he did get a little check every month. And so he was getting that money, whether or not he told anybody else in the family. He did have a check coming in, okay? Whether or not he, as I said, told anybody else, then the girlfriend decided to do whatever she wanted to do with that money. So as I said, I could have sued and did all that stuff, but I chose not to. Why? Because I truly believe in karma, and karma is going to get her one way or another. Do you understand what I mean? And so with this, Ebony, you have to see this now in your point of view. Do you deal with the situation, okay? Or do you let the drama go and be what it is? So as far as this whole thing is concerned, okay, when it comes to the car, first off, is your name on the title? Okay. Did he want you to have the car? Is there any documentation of this? Because if there isn't, at this point, his family has every right to it, unfortunately, because he didn't go through the right channels to get the things done. And of course, we know how he passed, right? It's in my name, but I just want to know what he thinks for real. So at this point, the way that this all is happening, if it is in your name, hey, keep it, okay? Give it to one of his kids. That's his point of view. It's like, keep it, fix it up, be sure that my kids get to ride it. You know, that whole thing. You know what I wanted to do with the car. That's what he's saying. You know what I wanted to do with the car. You know what I wanted it to do. Because if you give it to the family, they're either going to sell it, or they're going to just let it sit in the backyard and just let it die in the backyard, or just let anybody drive it. So at this point, he's like, at least my kids get to have this part of me. Do you see what I'm saying? And he's like, and you know what I would always have wanted for my kids is for them to have this part. So you might as well handle business and keep it for your kids. If it's in your name, you have the title. He's saying keep it for the kids. That's what's important to him, is that it's for the kids. You understand what I mean? Because his kids get to have what he worked for and what he wanted them to have. All right? If that's all he had to give to his kids, and yet you allow someone else to come in here and steal it, like they let my dad's girlfriend in there to steal it, right? So she knew that it was supposed to be divided out accordingly. She didn't do it, okay? They allowed her to sit there and say all this stuff. And not just that, but they were questioning my father, my father's brothers and sisters were questioning him about all this while he was in a state of dying, and all the chemicals were in his body going crazy, and he didn't know who was who or what was what. And they're asking him about all this during that time frame, when he told me about this before he started getting further in his sickness. My father started getting sick in November. He died in February. His brothers and sisters started talking to him about this money in February when he was getting ready to die. He told me and Sue and this nurse about this during his time when he was cohesive and really with it back in November. But yet she's telling my aunts and uncles all this other bullshit, got them to hate on me. And yet when I needed my family, they weren't there for me. You understand what I'm saying? So right now, if you don't want the strife, you don't want the grief, then don't get into it with the family, right? It's in my note. This one. Thanks, bro. Right. Tell him I love and miss him so much. Do I? It's an okay. No, sweetheart. That was a lot as that was. So that was a lot. So with that, with his energy coming through, what I will say with everything else that is happening, okay, is when it comes to everything regarding your daughter, you need to get a second, third opinion. Like that has to happen. And as I said, when it comes to the car, as he was saying, if you do not do that with the whole car situation, then you're going to end up giving into family, and it's just going to end up being taken for granted. So you might as well leave it with the family and things like that. As far as an extra card reading, like that was a lot right there. That was your spiritual message. That was Mario coming through. That was everything. Let's see, any cards want to come out for you? So literally when it comes to the home front, I'm using just a basic Lenormand deck here. When it comes to your home front, literally don't allow the mischief in. because right to this point, things are going to come in, and literally what they're showing me, they're talking about your home front. They're talking about here. This is like things coming in and out. And they said like there's stuff that's going to come in and start to bother you, stuff that's going to go out and start to bother you. Something's going to come in and try to take you guys out your foundation, and it's going to keep all about work and literally Mario and everything that he has. The strife and the misery is going to start to come in if you allow it to. So this is like keeping things at bay, keeping things where they need to be, and not allowing people to come in while your guys are going through your grieving process and allow you guys to come out of your healing. It's just like, you know, it's like, because literally the drama causes issues with people's healing while they're going through their grief. And that's what needs to stop. So it's easier to communicate with people, allow your healing to take place, because the communication card is in reverse and your healing card is in reverse. You need to finish off, you know, get through your grieving, your healing of losing your man, you know, and then after you do that, then you could deal with everything else. Okay, don't allow people to come in here and take you out and unroot you. Allow your healing process to come in, because ultimately now you have to go through your life without your baby daddy there. Okay, and you guys went through the last few years of being together and setting up this life, and now that he's not there, now you're gonna have people come in and start picking things apart of what they want from him, and this and that. No, what you have of his needs to stay with you for your kids. If your name is on it, hey, hold on to it, period. You understand? Period. Hold on to it. Look, he's like, he loves you regardless of the situations. Don't let anybody tell you any difference. You understand? So that's the card reading. That's all the information from on the other side. So thank you, Miss Ebony, for allowing me to read for you. Many blessings, light, and love. All right, my next one's going out to Juji. All right, is Juji here still? I'm gonna do Juji and then Trish and then Crystal. What do I need to see for Juji? Let me see my cousin Juji. Do you have any questions for me, cuz? There's a lot coming through with you right now. Since I'm already in the process of processing on the other side, there's a man that's coming through. Let me see who this is. Did you guys lose your father? There's a male here. This feels like a fatherly male. Could be grandfather, could be father, but there's a male here. And he's been like watching me during my whole reading since you came on. Who is this one? Is this your father? Is this his father? Yeah. Your father's father. La papá de él. Yeah, he's here and his energy's strong. Why are you here, sir? Go ahead. I'm listening. It's like, it's weird because he's watching me. And it's like a kinder kind of a spirit. It almost reminds me of like, I can remember like some of our last, like all of us being together, like when we were kids and stuff. and how the family would get together, and we would, they're showing me like, you know how we would like go to the preserves, the forest preserves and stuff like that, and we have big ass cookouts and stuff like that. Like, it's that. And I mean, I'm talking about, when I talk about, I know my cousins and my cousins cousins, like I know my dad's cousins, I know their kids, like we all grew up together. And now after a while they went back down to Texas, and some of us stayed in Chicago. But I know all my people. Juji's actually my cousin. And so the energy that I'm getting here is like remembering, like your grandfather's talking about, like remembering back when we would do certain things. And for him to bring this up is like remembering, like when we were children, remembering the reunions, remembering the times that we got to be around each other, remembering those times. Why do you want us to remember that? Why do you want him to remember that in particular? Because it still needs to take place. Okay. With that being said, with him saying that, okay, with him saying that it still needs to take place, that means that, so sometimes, you know, as our family, we kind of started doing our own thing, things like that. You know, we kind of get out of the phase of doing everything that we need to do, right? Like, I mean, getting to know your cousins, your people, and it's just like needing to rekindle those relationships. And that's the key, is like needing to get like one big family, and it's just like needing to do it. And the reason is like remembering our ancestors and those that come before us, to remember those times. And so the reason why he's coming through like this is like, remember who you were, remembering where you came from, and remember that we have not left you. And just as such, you guys will always be in our hearts. But remember who you are. Remember the land in which has come before you and where you stand. Because just as such, you have to send these, remember, it's like send these thoughts with your children. Like, what are we sending our thoughts with our children? How would they remember? See, my kid, he barely, like, so my kid, like, I have 3 older brothers. Like, he knows of my nieces and nephews, but my nieces and nephews are all in their 20s. My kid is like 13. I waited till I was like 28 before I had my kid, but my kid, you know, but everybody else's kids was all grown at that time. So my kid doesn't know any of his, like, he doesn't have a personal relationship like how we had a relationship with all of our cousins. Like I said, guys, like, I knew all of my cousins, all my people's people, like all of them. And so when I talk about, I knew all my cousins, I'm talking about, we wrote, my mom is one of 10 and my dad is one of 9. And so we got chingos and chingos of family everywhere, all through Texas, all through Chicago, and then some, and all through Arizona. So with that, with everything coming through, is that we need to remember that, you know, even when we had this big old family reunion just recently this past year, I didn't go because of all the family strife that we had. I just don't feel like dealing with it. You know, it's easier, one of those things where I want to see my cousins and stuff like that, but I don't want to deal with my aunts and my uncles that dealt with any of that bullshit that put me through the shit that I went through with my father when he passed. So it's like one of those things, but I too need to let that pass. And I even tried to put some of the stuff under the rugs and all kinds of stuff, but my uncles, like, you know, they could be very hard-headed and shit like that. But at the same time, I miss my cousins. Like, so it's like one of those things where I need my son to know his cousins and the cousins that, you know, are from the other side, and then some, because he's the only child, right? So I want him to remember and to have those feelings. So the reason why your grandfather's coming through like that is like remembering who you were, and that these stories and the togetherness and the ancestral lines, just, they get to continue to tell the stories that we, you know, one day we're going to pass and we're not going to have those stories to tell. And so we need to start telling our stories to our children, and that's what's key. So for your grandfather to come through like this, he's like, look, I love you, and I want the stories to continue on, however we can get them to continue on, whether it's not us coming back together as family again, or having barbecues, even if it's within our own little families. Like, we need to start it again, because enough with going off distantly and allowing literally all the strife and the hate and the bickering to become an issue. I mean, I even have to take heed to those words, you know, literally, I do. And I know it. So it's just doing it now. So with that being said, whether or not you guys do it in Texas or whatever, you know, maybe we should put together, you know, two brains more than one, like, you know, putting it all together, and let's go ahead and set up a, you know, whether or not it's through the lawyer side or whatever, whether or not it's you through your other side of the family, but the families need to start to get together to say our stories. Like, these stories need to be said, because there's lots of stories that will make you laugh and cry. There's lots of stories that will, you know, that still need to be remembered. And that's the key. And it's especially on Dia de los Muertos, when the, sorry, my tongue's getting tongue tied, when everything is happening, right? The veils are very thin right now, and the spirits and energies are so strong, and they're like, remember who you were, remember that, you know, that there's still people on the other side that love you, and there's still a lot of happening, and we want everybody to still come together and still to be one, under one unity, remembering who we were. So with that, for him to come through like this, and for me to feel like, you know, it's just like a remembrance of who we were. Like, we need to remember that, and we need to allow those stories to carry on. So please start telling those stories to your children. Please start getting, you know, getting the family together, remembering that we were all once one, you know, and not to allow anybody, especially no outsiders, to make us feel as if we weren't, you know, because we will marry people that don't necessarily understand how close knit that we all once were. And they will try to break down our family lines if we allow them to. So it's about staying close knit, remembering your lines, and allowing yourself and your story to be told. Because just as my father's stories will continue on through myself, my stories will continue on through my son. And so will my father's stories. So we have to be sure that our stories continue on. So thank you for allowing me to read for you. So just know that your grandfather's around you, and that he wants you to know that you're loved, and he wants the stories to continue on, and to get the families back together. The sooner the better. Okay? Thank you so much. All right. My next one is going out to Trish. Miss Trish, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right. Sure, let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can get, Miss Trish. All right. Let's get to it. So today's readings, just in case we get new viewers on, is $5, $10, $15, and $25. And we are reading and drawing in, calling forth on our loved ones that have passed on, especially today with the veils being thin. Today is the last day for Dia de los Muertos. And so it's very important for us to call forth on our ancestors and those that come before us, and remembering them and letting them know how much we love them. I can provide that information. However, as you know, nothing is 100%, especially when it comes to court cases. I don't ever like to give anybody 100% on anything when it comes to that, because I'm not going to take on any responsibilities with that one. Let's see. So for Trish, so she wants to call forth on her great grandmother. Trying to call her through, but she's not coming through. Give me 1 second. Let me try to raise my vibe and see if I can get her to come through. Give me 1 second. Sometimes they don't want to. Can't necessarily make them. She's like not wanting to come forward at all. Why is she not wanting to come forward? She's coming. It just takes a little bit of time. I'm going to come at this time, please. So she's coming through. I definitely have your mother-in-law here. She was quick to come through. I've read for her before, but your grandmother, she comes through, but her energy is a little bit more distant. She's present. I got her. I got her. All right. Miss Winifred is present. So is Miss Christine. She's telling me, she said, you think everybody's going to want to leave what they're doing to come and talk? Well, sometimes you have people here that might want to talk to you, so I thought that you would want to speak to her. I mean, you don't have to be here, but if you would like to speak to somebody, they're here. Mm-hmm. So she's telling me this. So she's coming through. So she was busy. And so she's like, so with her being busy, she's like, but that's okay. She's like, she's here. Do you have questions for, like with her? She's like, do you have questions for me? Like that's her kind of thing. Like she's like very why am I here? What's the deal? So she wants to know, why did we call upon her? But she does show me that she does come around you. She does come around. But at the same time, for her, it's just like, why am I here? What do you want? Like, it's one of those kinds of things. I'm like, okay, my bad. I apologize. However, Miss Christine, on the other hand, she's like more kind. She's like, you know, she's a newer spirit, so she's here. And so Miss Christine's like, hey, like, it's okay. She's actually laughing. She's like, I've never seen. And so she's like, it's okay. So Miss Christine's talking about want me to tell you guys that she's very proud of everything that you guys got going on. So okay, she says, although it's a lot, she says she thanks you guys. Like, she's showing me like being very thankful. She's showing me very being thankful, being forward. She's speaking about like you guys have achieved a lot, but just as much as you've achieved, like there's a lot going on with, we got this, but we also have this going on. And so with that, it's just like, so they show me like everything that you have going on, and feeling like very random. It's like, I'm thankful for what I got, but I got a lot going on. It's hard for me to see the future of things because of this situation, but you've got to literally prioritize and see things from a different point of view. Like, everything's not as bad as it may seem, is what they keep on talking about. Everything isn't as bad as it may seem. However, it's just needing to take a look from another position, and not feeling like you're so stuck in one position that you can't see another way out, is what I'm being shown. So it's like knowing where you're coming from, knowing this position, knowing that position, knowing that there's more to the story, and not feeling like so random is what I'm feeling like. Being appreciative, knowing where you're coming from, knowing what you stand for, because it's way more than just a little bit. But Miss Christine is very much, you know, very loving, very forward. She says, wow, yeah. Now, I will say that Miss Winifred, she's saying that she says to call her Winnie. But she's telling me, she says to let you know that she's watching over you, and like things that are happening around you, feeling like you're not alone. Okay, yes, we call her Winnie. Okay, because she was like, please don't call me that, like, call me Winnie. Like, yeah, okay. So with that, Winnie's saying that she's there and she's watching out for things, and know that the best situation will happen. Not sure exactly the situation that's happening at hand, but Winnie is saying that you guys definitely have a lot that's going on, even more than before. So I think you and I definitely need to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation. There are some things that I could do to help, that I can do to help the situation. But at this point, it's going to be whether or not you want it done. And, you know, this stuff isn't cheap. This is a lot. This is a process. And of course, nothing is 100% guaranteed when it comes to this, right? Yes, Miss Catherine, I will try to get to you. However, tonight's readings are $5, $10, $15, and $25, especially if I'm actually calling in somebody for you. Okay. But anyways, so Miss Trish, what's coming through here? Let me pull some cards because I want to see what they're talking about when it comes to this court case. What is it that I need to see? Just open up your heart space. Let me look. Just put your, whatever's going on, put it in your heart space so I can see what's happening, so I can probably get a better understanding of things. Give me 1 second, though. What do I need to see first? You say possibly winning by the skin of your teeth. Ace of Cups, something that you guys created. It's not stable. The Ace of Cups is in a reverse position. Something doesn't have all of its energy here. I usually see my mama in my meditation on my turn, but she has since let's see. Yeah, we definitely got to get you back on track. This is where you have so much going on that you need some grounding. You need some meditation. You need to get back on course, because without your spiritual team, it's like I wouldn't want to go into any court case feeling this way. Like I wouldn't at all. You know what I mean? So the way that this is coming out, like it's like nothing wants to come out completely. Misrepresentation. Do you have a I hope that you have a good lawyer. I was also wondering what Winnie was saying to me. Because I see that there is some type of lies or something going on. I hope you have a good lawyer. There's a lot of obstacles that are coming in. This can really, it can still go either way. Either you guys can feel defeated, like when it comes to this court case, it's still up in the air. There's not 100% one way or the other. The Sun card is coming out, the World card, and the Five of Swords. It's either, so it's still in the process of everything. You're going to need a whole good, have a lawyer, how good, but I don't know how good. Yeah, you're going to need a good-ass lawyer for this one. As I said, I'm not sure of the situation, not sure what's going on, but whatever the situation is, your lawyer cannot be sloppy. He needs to like have all his P's and Q's together. And if he comes out in any other way than on top of things, then it could be a bad situation. Chances of you winning this court case, whatever it is you got like a 63% chance. As I said, I don't know the situation, don't know what's going on. However, everything is still up in the air, but there's a lot of deception that's surrounding the situation. There's a lot of negative energy that's here. There's a lot of that needs to happen. So with that, the way the cards are coming out, I definitely suggest, you know, that the lawyer get his shit together. Be sure that my lawyer has all his P's and Q's together. If everything goes well, there's also a lot of jealousy and deceit with this. There's a lot of fickleness. You definitely need to tighten up your belt and be sure that everything is together. But besides that, as long as everything works out and your lawyer, like I said, a 63% isn't a bad thing. However, it can definitely, whatever this dispute is, whatever the situation is, it could definitely make you feel some sort of way. So like, I'm not even the cards that I'm pulling, I'm not getting a good result. I'm getting, you know, it's still a 63% isn't a bad situation, but there's a lot of setbacks, lots of obstacles surrounding this situation. So with this being said, the way that this looks, it's still up in the air. So at this point, you know, I don't know what this court case is about, don't know the situation, but I would definitely be sure that everything, you know, just getting all the information that I could get, being sure I get everything together and just doing everything that I can. If you can get and do a lot of the research and the running around for your lawyer and getting the information and documents that this person might need, then you could end up on top. But if you completely let the lawyer handle everything, I feel like it's going to be a little iffy, because there was a lot of jealousy. There was a lot of deceit surrounding this. And if you're not careful, there's only a 63% chance. However, if you have, you know, documentation, you have, if there's any kind of recordings, if there's anything that you can have in your corner to help you with the situation, you have a better chance. Because as I said, if you just allow your lawyer to handle business, like, it's not going to be good. However, if you get together and try to find, you know, all the recordings, try to get with surrounding businesses to see what all they have as well, I think you might have a better result than just waiting for your lawyer to handle it all. Because as I said, I'm not fully 100% confident in your lawyer at this point. So there's that. So With that, though, 63% isn't bad. It could be better. However, as I said, lots is still going to go into this case before it's 100% guaranteed at any point of winning or losing. So there's that. With that, when it comes to relocation, as far as what Winnie was talking about, she's talking about in due time and the time process, but she's not talking about any time now. But she is talking about like starting to make those 5-10 year goals and marks, because things will start to happen fast and quickly. And if something were to happen with this property where it was to be another arson or situation that happens again, like it's like at some point you have to say, should I rebuild or should I just move? Because obviously I can't have the things that I want where I'm located, because there's a lot of jealousy and animosity here. So obviously I'm going to have to move in order to get this business up and running the way that I want. So with that, that's that kind of a thought process. Okay. So thank you, Miss Trish, for allowing me to read for you. Thank you, Miss Winnie. Thank you, Miss Christine. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. Don't allow this case to take you out of your frequency. You're allowing it to take you out of your frequency and you're not focusing. Okay. You need to get yourself together, Miss Trish. Get your mind, body, and soul together. Be sure you're taking time out for yourself to get everything situated. Okay. Because I need you to be on your P's and Q's with this whole situation. Okay. So thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. All right. My next one. All right. Now let's see. I had a crystal that paid. Miss Crystal, if you're still here and you paid, please go ahead and let me know that you're here. You are so welcome. And then after Crystal, I have, all right, Miss Catherine. Yep, she's here. Okay. Crystal. All right. Crystal. So I'm almost done with my readings for the night. Grab some dinner. I will be back on tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. I will post it tomorrow. It might be an early morning read. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. So we're going to go from there. Let's see. What do I need to see for crystal? What do I need to see? All right, Miss Crystal. Spirit is talking about organizing your next 5 and 10 year goals. And even more so to that, not just organizing the 5 and 10 year goals, but organizing our life, our mind, body, soul, heart, spirit, our chakras, everything that's in place. This is where it's just like sometimes a lot is a lot, lots is building up, lots is happening around you. And if you don't get yourself organized, especially in your temple, your mind, body, soul, you don't get this organized and situated, it's like feeling off, feeling like it's just like they keep on showing me like feeling as if I'm not producing the right type of energy, or like as if my energy is being used inappropriately. So you got to get your temple figured out. Start to eat a little bit more cleaner, healthier. Getting out, walking is definitely needed with you, because they're telling me that you need to ground. They're showing me needing somebody like needs to sit and ground. Sit, and I keep on seeing like literally someone sitting on the grass eating like as if I'm eating a salad. I'm eating something nice and healthy for myself. and not feeling like, you know, not feeling sluggish, but being able to eat and get back to work, needing to get myself organizing and get myself back together. Because if we continuously stay in this type of a process, you're going to continuously feel off. And at some point, we need to get this back together at some point, right? So there's a, how soon are you ready to get this back on track? You keep on saying that you want it, you want it, you want it, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, well, are you going to do it? And then when are you going to do it? Like, it's just like needing to get this with this, needing to do that with that. And it's just like, okay, when can we get it together? So with this, it's like needing to get back on track, needing to get our mind, body, soul back in order. Okay. The sooner, the better. So it's just not the mind, body, and soul, but this is about like cleaning up the spirit, cleaning up your aura, cleaning yourself up. And sometimes that's the hardest part, right? So sometimes we could sit here and we can, you know, ground ourselves, meditate, and still feel off. And sometimes when we feel off, then there's something that is still in your aura or still like tagging within you that is still not right where it needs to be. And so at some point you have to say, okay, let me focus on this. So that's the key here. You can sit here and study and work and work and work, but let me tell you something. The moment that you feel off, you're going to realize like, dang, I need to do that a lot sooner. Okay, I need to get myself together a lot sooner because I am way off. And that's what they're talking about. They rather you be back where you need to be sooner than later. The sooner, the later, because at this point it's getting pretty toxic and it's going to start to hinder your well-being and the things that are happening around you for the positive. So sometimes it's okay to sweep out our auras. It's okay to cleanse and heal our aura, our mind, our body, our soul, heart, spirit, in every area. Clean the spirit, right? When we clean the spirit, you can feel a lot more energized. You can get back to yourself and feeling like you're on point instead of feeling like you're just making it to the next day. And that's the key. Not feeling like you're making it to the next day, not faking it till you make it, but actually making it, really doing something with yourself instead of feeling some sort of way. And in order to get there, we got to say, okay, what can we do to get ourselves back on track? And that's what your spirit is talking about. What can we do to get back on track at this point? Because it is getting toxic. There's a lot of great energy around that needs to be dissolved. So there's that. You got cars that are wanting to fly everywhere. Which the cards that are coming out, make sure I'm not missing any other ones. The first card is the Six of Swords and the Hangman in reverse. That makes sense of why they're talking about what they're talking about, and these cards will come out. The Six of Swords is all about not just cutting and removing, but they're talking about a journey. They're talking about a voyage. This is definitely talking about a headstrong person and an attempt to overcome difficulties. In order to overcome those difficulties and anxieties, success anxieties, we need to get ourselves on track, because the Hangman's coming in a reverse position, and the Hangman is like, hey, we got to get, this is like a false start. This is where it takes a little bit of sacrifice to get what you want, but yet you don't necessarily want to make the sacrifice that you know that it takes. So it's just like knowing what you need to do, especially like if it's meditation and stuff like that, but saying that you don't have time to meditate when you have that 5 minutes that you had to take a nap, when you could just took that 5 minutes to take a meditative nap. Like there's like ways around this whole process. It's like getting further spiritual clarification here. And then in comes the Page of Cups and the Six of Wands. So you got double sixes that are coming in here. Let's see what else wants to come out. And here's the thing. The Page of Cups is literally, you know it all. Okay, this is like an overdependence. This is feeling overly sometimes dependent on loved ones and not putting people in their place because you love them. And it's becoming to take a process on you about telling people about themselves. It's becoming too much for you to handle because the Six of Wands is coming out and it's literally stopping you. It's delaying you from the next step in the spiritual or the figurative, like in the or the physical issue here. And then the King of Wands comes in, and this is literally deliberating what is the next step. And you know it's intolerance, you know the severity of it, but at some point it's just like, but it's family. How many times are you going to stop saying, but it's family? Family will be quick to put a knife in your back quicker than your best friend. I'm gonna tell you that. Okay, literally, family will be quick to put a knife in your back before that next person on the street. Okay, so at some point you need to stop with all this doubts. This, what is it that is like telling yourself one thing but you know the truth, because it's family and you don't want to hurt family. Okay, but let me tell you something, family will be the first one to hurt you and stop you from creating your well-being, because the Ace of Wands is coming in reverse position. You're trying to create something but it has a cloudy outlook, so you got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups coming both in side by side. One's in reverse, the Ace of Wands is in reverse. You can't create because you don't have. You can't create because you don't have. You can't create but you don't have what? Is it money? Is it wealth? Is it because we are supporting others and not tightening up our belt the way that we need to? It's like not being fickle. It's like not putting our priorities in check. When truly, especially when it comes to females in your family. Okay? And so with this, it's like knowing what it takes, knowing what needs to happen. Sometimes people need to be put in their own path to say, hey, if I'm doing it, you could do it too. If I'm going to school and I got a job and I'm doing all this, you could do it too. Okay? And that they need to do it. It's like, don't enable people, because if you enable people, it's just going to take them down a path that they don't need to be on. Stop enabling people, especially because it's family. Stop that madness. And then this, you got the double sixes that come in, and double sixes have to do with nurturing, family, love, and service. Look at that. You got service to your family, and it's literally hindering your development for yourself. You're nurturing and developing your family. That's fine, but it's not coming back into full circle. It's like someone is taking advantage of you and your family. That's what this feels like. Okay. So when someone's taking advantage of you and your family, you got to put some things back in order. Like, I'm not doing that. And you have a lot of women in your family. So you got the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords coming out. You need to cut off that person and stop enabling them. Stop. You know, they have to prepare themselves for their lives that they want to live. If they can't, then they shouldn't be doing it. Okay? If they don't and cannot handle that lifestyle that they're trying to live, and they're constantly having to borrow and do whatever, then they need to get themselves back in order. Stop already. Stop. Okay? Then the Four of Cups comes in, and this is like weariness. It's like you're giving and giving and giving, right? However, it's just because, if you don't, then you're going to be disappointed. Well, at the same time, if you don't, then the Five of Wands comes out, and they're saying it's just going to cause trickery. That's all this is. They're just tricking you into doing something that you know that they don't need to be doing. Sometimes it's just like, you know what? I'm tired of doing this. If I want better, I have to do better. And that's what we're at right now. You want better, you got to do better. So do better by stop enabling family. Stop. The Three of Wands is coming out. Assistance. Look, this person has ulterior motives. Look at that. It's like enough. Those people that are trying to help you are truly not there to help you. Four of Swords coming in. Needing to know when to replenish by doing what? Going inward. Ten of Swords. The pain, the afflictions, the sadness. It's like, this is as bad as it gets. No, it could get worse. It could get a little bit worse. So don't say that. It's like knowing when to say enough is enough. Stopping the deception before it starts. Getting yourself in order, because if you don't get yourself in order, no one else is going to do it for you. Period. Okay. So the sooner you can get yourself in order, not sitting here doing everything for everybody else, but getting yourself where you need to be, the better and the more opportunities that will come to you. And that's what's key here, is that you have better opportunities that are going to come to you when you can stop enabling other people. Literally, stop enabling other people, get yourself together, and watch the opportunities that are going to come. That's literally what your spiritual team are talking about. But in order to do that, you have to do what? Go inward. You have to go inward. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. You have got to raise that masculine energy within yourself and put these people in their place. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Okay? So stop. And who cares if they judge you? They say, oh, well, she's not doing this and she's not doing that. No, it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. I'm not your mama. Okay? And I'm not going to sit here and care whether or not you're going to judge me for helping you and not helping you when you're just going to sit here and literally dog me anyway and continuously take from me. I'm good. I'm good. So with that, pay attention, because gossip and slander, especially in family, could be very, very, very toxic. You love family, but at the same time, at some point, if you want to do good, sometimes it is okay to put family in their place while you handle your business for yourself. If you could do that and you could get yourself back in order and you can raise your vibration, everything will start to work out. You have to say, I'm tired of being tired and I'm tired of being taken advantage of. Getting yourself in order and on track, and everything else will start to fall in place. If you can do that, everything else will be just fine. Okay, the justice card is going to come out at the end. The justice card at the end is saying, eventually through this process, you will accomplish your journey. You will accomplish this all, but only by stopping enabling people within your family. Literally, stop. Looking at, I pulled literally 20 cards. They showed me the whole story. Stop. Okay. So thank you, Miss Crystal, for allowing me to read for you. Many blessings, light, and love. You will achieve your accomplishments, but only after getting yourself in order mentally, physically, emotionally, and on track. Okay? All right, guys. It's 8 o'clock my time, and it's about dinner time in my household. So I'm out of here. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to read for you. All my readings, I believe, are done. Let me look at my list. So thank you, Miss Crystal. I am starving. Let's see. Oh, I do have one more person on my list. Is Miss Catherine still here? Is Catherine still here? I got some reading and some dinner to do today. I'm so hungry. Girl, I believe it. Hey, every family can be toxic, girl. Shit. I know my family is. Hey. I know my family is. We have our times. We have our spats. But they're still my family, but I definitely know where to put them. All right, Miss Catherine Johnston. I'm tired of being tired. Sure. Girl, I hear you. All right. What do I need to see from Miss Catherine? Catherine Johnston. Mother Kathleen. Well, I will see if there's any messages in the realms, but I'm not 100% sure if there'll be any. When I do a free message for somebody, when I'm doing free readings, just as an FYI to anybody who ever watches my videos, when I do a free reading, I only pull in, like if I'm only do like a mediumship to those that pay. When it comes to doing a free mediumship, I only do it if there's messages in the ether for that particular person, but I normally just don't randomly do a free mediumship, okay? Because it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of everything to pull people through. So normally a free is just a couple card reading. That's normally my frees are. But as I said, if there's messages in the ethers, I will look and see if there's something there. Okay. So Miss Catherine, let's see what I got for you. What do I need to see from Miss Catherine? Miss Catherine. Your mother's not coming through. However, I do see a woman that does come around pretty frequently. So that means, I believe this happens to be your mother. She does come around. However, there's angels that are around you. I feel like this is Archangel Michael that comes around. And when he comes around, he's coming around to protect you and to help you on your path. And this is like feeling like everything needs to be in place, feeling like things need to be, they're saying, look, not everything needs to be perfect. However, we definitely need to understand when things are working in our favor and paying attention to the details, because sometimes things are working out just well for us, and right when things are getting ready to be just right where we want them to be, something happens where we lose our faith, or we're losing, or like we're second guessing something, and you don't fully get there because you're questioning or second guessing yourself. And this is where it's like, okay, well, if you ask your spiritual team to help you with something, know that they're going to help you, especially the angels. They're going to help you if they can. But it's just like, keep the faith, keep steady, keep focused in your path, and not allow anybody to make you feel as if it's not getting ready to happen, because the moment that you lose that energy or that frequency, it changes up everything. Your energy and frequency changes just by the people that you're around. It could change by the mindset that we keep, things like that. So with that, hold on, I do feel like they said, with that, know that the angels are with you, providing you with that protection that you're seeking. I will say that your mother does come around, as I was saying before, she comes around a lot. And what she's showing me is, I see this woman, what your spirit team are showing me is this woman that comes around the house. And it's just like when you least expect it, she's around, especially like, I feel like, I don't know why, but it's just like during the holidays, her energy becomes a lot more prominent during that time. But otherwise, she tries to stay and gives everybody their space. But she's saying, I keep on hearing them say, but don't give up. Know that she's around. She is around. It's just for whatever reason, she's not wanting to come in right now. So know that she's around. Know that the angels are watching over you, and keep the faith, especially when things are just getting ready to happen for you. Don't lose the faith. Okay. Things are getting ready to happen for the good, but you have to keep the faith. Okay. So thank you for allowing me to read for you. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Once again, my name is EvaMarie. You guys can always friend request me at EvaMarie Thompson. Thank you, Miss Catherine, for allowing me to read for you. My name is EvaMarie Thompson. You guys can always find me on Facebook. What else? You guys could, right here at Shaman Phoenix Guidance by EvaMarie is my page. And then I also run I have a group as well, which is, what is it called? I run a group that has other people on there. It's a Seers Clubhouse, and it's where there's other psychics, mediums, and spiritual guidance that are on the page. So go and hit up that group as well. I will go ahead and I'm out of here for tonight. Check me out tomorrow, as I will be going live. So stay posted. Friend request me to know when I'll be going live once again. So thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. It's been my pleasure to be here. Take your time out, be with your loved ones, and always check in with your ancestors and your spiritual team, because they always will have you together. Many blessings, light, and love until we meet again. Aho, until we meet again. Many blessings.